Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Weekly Game Chat. I'm your host, Chris, as always, joined by my co-host, Shaun.
Hey, peak much there, buddy?
And John.
So loud.
Hello, Weekly Games Chat fans.
How are you guys and gals doing?
Fans?
What's cool about...
People who are listening.
They're always listening. I like to think this. So, John, you went to Tybee Island.
I did.
You slacked off. We carried things while you were gone.
Don't do this to John. You know that he doesn't know we're kidding.
Look.
And he gets that look.
He was defensive. On the beach. I built a building. A whole entire building for him.
Tell me more.
On my back.
Tell me more. What building?
It's called expectations and delivering them.
I don't know what that means, but it makes me chuckle.
He built a chuckle. I don't know what to go on here. You know what I actually built for you?
Chris is drinking.
You can't prove any of that.
So, fun fact. Chris claims he's from a place called
Maryland.
Baltimore, Maryland. And he claims he loves the crab cake. Says there's nothing like a Maryland area crab cake.
It's just a little different. Have you ever had
Yes.
Have you had blue crab?
No.
No?
No.
Have you? Oh, that's right. You don't eat fish at all. Have you, John?
Mm-hmm.
But I eat sushi.
Have you ever had jumbo lump crab cake?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a whole entire crab cake that's just made up of that. Like only jumbo lump. Nothing else. None of the little tiny side
I love
crab
that you
parts.
said jumbo lump.
It is a gift of the gods.
I just told you I've had jumbo lump crab cake.
Okay, imagine. I'm
pretended like I said no.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say to you, okay, you've had that, but have you had an entire crab cake that is only made of that?
This is a train
That's what
wreck.
I'm trying to say.
If you were from the smallest hick town in the state of Georgia,
True.
you would be so arrogant about it.
I would.
Because he's saying you're from Maryland.
I'm from Maryland by way of England.
I am that way.
He is. Those are facts, crabs. But when it comes to crabs, he knows his stuff.
Yes.
It's just that
But today
Shaun and I
Yeah.
are from nowhere.
I know.
Hey.
I know.
We love
okay.
us. But today was the day where his dad, it's an annual thing.
Yeah. It's becoming an annual thing.
Good old senior. He's got somebody that hooks up Maryland crab cakes from Maryland.
There's a website you can go to now.
Boo.
So,
Lexington Market, which is probably the most well-known thing in downtown Baltimore.
So it's not, wait. The Lexington Market's not in Kentucky?
No.
So
No.
from the time it's caught to the time it enters your body, how old is the crab meat?
I would say maybe about 1 or 2 days at most.
1 or 2 days?
That's nice.
From what I hear, pretty much
You
they catch
definitely
it.
got to pay for that.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's not cheap, but they
Dad
catch
does it.
it goes to the Lexington Market in Baltimore, they make the crab cake, they freeze it, they put it in a bag, and
What, they
gets shipped
freeze
up.
it?
Yeah, it gets shipped overnight.
They freeze it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You going to pay for that. You don't know frozen
Well,
crab cake.
the next year, you know what? Next year, you come down.
John, you're ruining my story about it being an annual thing that Dad, good old Pop, does for Chris. And today happens to be the day it occurs at a brewery and Chris is drunk. See? Now I had to say it like that, John.
They
Gordon
can't prove
Ramsay
any of that.
would not eat that trash.
He would.
No, he
because
would
it's
not.
from Lexington.
Is this frozen? It's not fresh.
That's the worst Gordon Ramsay ever, but I love it.
Are you trying to
Yeah,
kill me?
it's terrible.
It's like Assassin's Creed meets...
What is he, crikey? Is he freaking from Australia now?
Are you a monkey doing an
Oh, my.
Well, that's
impression?
how you sound.
Drunk Chris is amazing.
I'm not liking it. I'm not a fan.
Anyways.
So yeah, that happened. John just arrived from a beach, and we're recording at 8:30 on a
8:30.
Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
You possibly could hear this at midnight-ish on a Wednesday.
And this isn't because they were waiting on me.
No, this was
No, for once.
you aren't
for
supposed
once.
to be here.
Oh, wait.
Let's just be
I know.
honest. Today was
And
going to be a day that Chris and I were going to record without you
And but
because you were out.
when he said 8 o'clock, I went,
Oh, now I gotta go.
I'm a douche if I don't show
you
up.
weren't because
There was part of me that didn't want to tell you. I'd be like,
because
just
first
don't
of all,
tell him. He won't show up. It'll
look,
be fine.
being on a road trip and coming back from where it's a what 5-6 hour drive.
Yeah. Well, four and a half.
And you get home and you're just like, I don't want to go do nothing.
Yeah. You just
I would have
wanna sit.
understood. But I realized in the middle of last night that I had a gig today.
You
On
ever missed a gig because of that?
No.
On a Tuesday?
No, I knew I had the gig, and for some reason, my dumb brain didn't go, hey, that's on a Tuesday, and that's the day you record your stupid podcast.
Because you could have switched and just said, hey, let's do this Monday.
Yeah, if I would have,
I would have
I
done
think it's because you don't care about us.
it could be. But everything, look, guys, hey, despite Tybee Island road trips, despite DJs, and despite Dad's annual Get Chris Drunk and Eat Crab Cakes Fest, we are here. We are here for the people, and we're going to talk about things.
Before we talk about things, though, and before I was in any way drunk, Spider-Man, it's coming, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's coming very soon, right, Sean? It's coming like 2 weeks from this Friday.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Hard to believe. Yeah.
No.
2 weeks from this Friday.
No.
And even in the harder part, John, 3 weeks from this Friday is Tomb Raider. Did that just blow your mind?
Drunk Chris rules.
Right? But
Give me a beer.
I can get you a beer. But
You've said that twice,
Yeah.
and nothing has happened.
You know what?
they're in the fridge. Go
Stop
grab
the
you
show.
one, grab me
Be
one.
a man and go get 2 beers right now, Chris, for the show. Do it.
Before,
don't even have to stop
hold
the
on,
show.
hold on,
Yeah.
hold on.
No, you don't
before
have
I do that, I'm
don't
going to
have-
leave you with something.
You gonna leave
so,
me with-
so hold on. Anyone who knows me, I love Spider-Man, but I've been building this up, and I've been messaging both of you at work. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's only one way I can play this game.
Yeah.
And the only way I can play this, I finally captured in video form over the weekend because I took 2 seconds to put 2 things together. So while I go
and
get
2
these,
Percocets.
while I go get these 2 guys
That's
beer,
2
I don't know if they'll hear this on the recording, but
2 seconds to put us together.
they may not hear this on the recording, but I will gladly play for my co-host because I think it's important because they need to understand this is literally the way I am playing this game.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm putting this in the background.
Hey, intro McGee.
and
Let's
I'm just
do
gonna,
it.
okay.
Oh, that is outstanding. Oh, this is outstanding. John, do you recognize that song?
Yes, it was it was from the original movie soundtrack.
Chad Kroger of Nickelback.
Was it just Chad Kroger?
Chris, was it just Chad Kroger of Nickelback?
It's Chad Kroger. I can't remember who the other guy is.
There's some other guy with Chad Kroger from the original Spider-Man, and this video has Spidey doing things back and forth, throwing webs, and we are cracking open beers.
See this combat?
This is amazing.
It looks amazing, doesn't it?
Dude, this song has to be on the whole time I play.
Exactly. That was my point. I was like, I can't play Spider-Man and not hear this song because
Hold up, guys.
I love, like, for instance,
You ever
I feel,
smelled this?
What, beer?
Smell it.
for the record,
Yeah, it smells
Smells
terrible.
like a fart.
No, it doesn't. If you're smart, smell like, what are we drinking, Chris?
Pabst.
Oh, good old
PBR.
American PBR. Yes, son.
for the record, when I played Batman, whatever it be, Arkham,
Look how
Arkham
epic
Asylum,
that was.
Arkham City, didn't matter what it was. Arkham Knight,
What did you play?
I had to play Kiss from a Rose
Why you
consistently
hollering?
in the background.
Why you hollering?
I did. Had to be done.
Jeff, why
Danny
is he
Elfman.
hollering?
Just play Danny Elfman. You'll be fine.
No. I had to play Seals,
hey.
A Kiss from a Rose.
Hey,
Take this.
Yeah.
He does not need it.
this is oh no. This is so uncharacteristic of Chris.
We're going to get into a fight on the podcast.
It's going to be amazing.
This is going to be the greatest show ever.
At 6 p.m. tonight, I said, I wonder if I do this, what will happen?
Yeah.
And I just went with it.
Yeah. Just, hey, sometimes you just got to go with it. Just see where it goes.
I don't know why people think this is bad beer.
PBR, it's
PBR is my official cheap beer.
It's a good cheap beer, but when you start becoming and you can, I'm going to use Chris's word. You can attest to this, Chris.
He just pumped his fist.
When you start drinking like craft beer,
Sure.
your palate gets a little different and you kind of want different things on that beer. But, I mean, it's America, John. PBR.
to America.
Hold up. We got to get a picture of this for the show.
Okay. They're watching us.
Hey guys, for the show,
America.
because America. Hey, the lights are messing up my phone.
That's fine.
It's probably fine, right? I got it. We're good. That'll be on Twitter later, guys.
All right, let me stop this wonderful video. But look how great this matches up.
I thought you were going to say train wreck. So,
No, look at this. Look at this.
John, you drove over here after a Tybee Island road trip visit back for this.
Yep.
We like to have quality.
Did you eat alone? Because
Yeah, I did.
Old school listeners of the show, they understand. They may know that we most of the time eat after the show together. We bring up what we're going to eat, yada yada yada.
We
the most
break
part.
bread.
We do together, and you had to by yourself today.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I've got cake in the car.
Hey, bud.
I don't know why that happened.
I went to
John, it's cake.
I went to Chipotle
Don't let it
earlier.
melt. Bring it in here.
Oh no.
I thought about you.
Did you?
I did.
Oh no.
Were you touching me?
I am now.
Hey, speaking of food, I've got to plug this particular item from a particular place.
It's called Ooey Gooey.
It's called, they're donuts with sugar sprinkles. They're little donut balls and caramel in them.
Where?
They're at a pizza chain. I'll let you go find them.
Oh.
Guess. They are amazing. You put it in your mouth, right?
Do you?
You put the ball in your mouth, and an explosion of caramel happens in your mouthpiece.
Is this John a Papa?
It possibly is, yeah. We had that for lunch today. You said you had Chipotle.
I did.
Yeah. There was a whole thing.
It was
that
a
went
very
down.
it was a very long day for me. There's a reason I'm the way I am right now. It's not because of
There's
this.
a reason why I am the way I am.
This was needed and had to be done.
It really, really did. It really did have to be done.
You got AIDS.
Pretty much, yeah. That said, it is kind of getting late, and usually we go later as far as breaking into the topic.
We're good.
You think you're ready? I'm ready.
How many? Oh, we're only
We're 12 minutes in.
we're only 12 minutes in.
I know. No, like what is
No,
this?
we gotta-
What's this?
we-
2016, right?
I can last more than 12 minutes.
We got.
I bet you
we gotta
can.
keep. Hey, I got to see Christopher Robin.
Did you?
yeah?
See,
Was it good?
it was out. It was
Yeah, because
so
Christopher
good.
Robin is much more important than my vacation.
Fun fact. Nickname while I was a kid. Seriously.
What
My
did
my
you-
mother's name is Robin. My father's name is Christopher. So
What?
whenever
Does he know
parents were referring to me, they would call me Christopher Robin because it was, the two.
Sounds like you're really proud of that.
I'm not.
More so than
I'm not because it,
more so
it
than
comes back
jumbo
to
lump
poo.
crab cakes.
That I'm more proud of.
Check it out though. Definitely an adult movie,
I've heard the first 10 minutes is
Meaning an
like
adult
pound
film.
the heart.
bro. It's
I've heard the rest movie is like
you know
this,
how some
but
people they grow up and you kind of forget being a kid. This really hits a home run on that whole thing and about man. Don't man.
Back to the days of Christopher Robin.
What is he doing? Chris,
I've been meaning to watch that.
ramble, Chris.
There's that other Christopher Robin movie.
No, there's
it's
not.
on HBO.
There's another-
Came out a couple of years ago. It's
You're
got the
just
dude
saying
that
things.
was killing people in Star Wars. He's all got the
Wait.
Death Star thing.
Wait, so
in
they
the new one, in the new Death Star.
wait. Listen
Goodbye, Christopher Robin. That's what it's called.
to me. In the last two Christopher Robin
Or
movies,
is it
I'm
called
really
Farewell?
scared of Chris tonight.
No,
I
it's
think
like
we should
it's
just-
a real thing.
Listen to me.
I'm not.
the last two Christopher Robin movies have had Star Wars characters in them. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah. That's accurate.
Because old Ewan McGregor.
Let's message Jeff and say, Chris is drunk. What do we do?
He's
I
like,
don't know what to
well,
do. He's going to
like-
say, good luck.
He's like, yeah.
Let's just
ride
do
it out.
crazy things like
Look,
read the emails first.
I could do that.
He's going to do it.
No, he's not. We're not going to do that. Goodbye.
Look, I am not crazy. This
No one
is a
said
real,
you were crazy.
This is
Yeah.
a real movie.
That's the guy from the Jen
Yes,
Urso one.
from freaking from
Yeah,
the new
Rogue
Star
One.
Wars.
Rogue One, not the new Star Wars, Chris. From
No,
Rogue One.
no.
He's from Rogue One.
No, he isn't. He's from both
Rogue-
of the two sequels.
Both of the two sequels.
I don't know.
He's from both of them.
Look at him.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that
Oh,
guy.
totally-
yeah,
totally-
I've got a star
hey.
planet that blows up things.
Hey, that's the guy who gets punked by
Dama
Kylo Ren.
Hall.
Demal.
Damal Gleason. We'll go with that.
Brendan Gleeson.
He's also in
Brendan Gleeson.
He's also in Ex Machina.
Oh, hold up,
From
Chris.
Braveheart.
Chris,
yes.
you guys are missing the most important cast
Throw a
member
rock.
of that movie.
You gonna go with Margot Robbie?
The beautiful Margot Robbie.
I would.
Whoa.
Watch I, Tanya.
Whoa, Chris. Whoa. But John,
Yeah.
you did go on a little trip today.
Yeah, sure.
Or got back from a trip
Yeah.
today. I'm drunk.
Already.
2 sips
funny.
in, I'm wasted, John.
I've got a better excuse. I feel like.
I wanted to say buzzed the whole weekend, but it didn't always happen. But it doesn't take. I mean, Chris will tell you, it doesn't take much with me. But so
And the
every
pants come right. Oh,
every night at dinner, I'd have a margarita
get it.
or some type of I'm already built.
Did you
I
just
feel kind of abused.
Did
on
you just
that.
beer burp?
a little bit?
That was a
I've been. John,
This is weekly Games Chat drunk edition.
right? I've been trying to get John to come back to me as far as that. Like
I never got
like
wasted.
Drunk Jay.
What is happening right now?
Oh, I've missed it.
I mean, I would have wine every night. I got a 6-pack of
What happened to you?
Coors. What?
Bartles and James?
You can have wine every night.
Hey.
Yeah, I had a glass,
Did you
glass
ever
or
drink-
two.
What happened? What happened to Sailor? Me and you.
We didn't have it with us.
What is Sailor?
You could have found it.
Sailor Jerry's is a rum.
I feel so
Not
left
just any
out.
rum. It's
What-
a delicious rum.
What about Captain Morgan?
It's nothing. It's destroys
Wait a minute.
Captain
So
Morgan.
there's a Captain Morgan
That's true.
versus a Sari Jailers?
Sailor Jerry's is phenomenal. You barely know you've got rum in your Coke.
Oh, just the way I like the rum in my Coke.
Tricked his wife on that one.
That
first
sounds
time.
really not okay.
That sounds so like
It sounds so
devious
bad.
and
I'm like,
deceptive.
it is, but it's this thing of like Clarissa can hold her liquor, and
Dude,
for once I just believe
I've never
I
seen
need
her
to.
drunk.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
John.
I need to see her on me and you.
Well, hey,
John.
hey.
We can get to a
we
really
need to get
bad
to the
level.
topic
Yeah.
and to the news ASAP. Because the good old train that we're on.
Is about to leave.
Awesome. But I mean, did you have a good trip, man? Did you
Yeah, it was good.
get any good selfies? I just like to see John.
Well, we took a dolphin tour.
Oh, did you
And
see
so-
some dolphins?
Oh,
We-
tons of dolphins.
Were you the cinematographer behind the 360 video that happened?
The
on Facebook?
cinematographer.
I want some
Yes.
cinnamon something right now.
Yes, I did that.
Toast crunch.
We
maybe.
need to talk about your smoothness as far as your video work.
I was 200 feet above sea level.
Well, you know what I heard. Like you had to stop at every location. Look,
He's calling you a fat
I want
bastard.
it to be a smooth transition around the 360.
I'll be right back, Chris. Let me
Exactly.
go do it again.
Exactly. Yes, please.
Hey, you don't.
I want
right now,
perfection.
The problem I had with the lighthouse is I looked below me and there was no bale of hay that I could fall into.
like Assassin's Creed.
You've been lied to for
This is a
many
weekly
years.
Games Chat. We don't have to give everybody the reference. Hopefully they know Sean.
Hey, just like in Assassin's Creed,
Anyways,
John.
Please, God, get to the topic.
There could be a brand new.
I tried to go
Think about
6
this.
minutes ago.
There could be a brand new listener to this train wreck.
It could be the greatest
Oh, no.
episode we ever have.
It could.
And unsubscribe.
This
It
is
could
what
also be the worst.
This is what this is.
I've heard great things.
Oh no.
Not so much.
Did you see anything this week, Chris? Movie wise?
No, I didn't.
All right.
So I want to say one thing.
Okay.
I do not
Just
have
one thing.
authorization to say this from either of you,
You go right ahead.
but my boy BK is back in the podcast game.
Yes, he is.
It's a back for season 2 type thing, but he's changed the name.
He has.
It is no longer the Playerway podcast. It is Weekly Movie Chat.
Yes.
And he can send the check for that name to Weekly Games Chat.
Do we have it copy written? So don't copy me.
No.
Oh
No,
Well,
no.
Chris, I got
no,
some
we
bad
don't.
news.
Yeah, I know. You
Well,
can
he's
steal
going.
whatever
I mean,
he
he's
wants.
going based on the logic of
The same thing we
Greatness.
did.
Yeah, he saw greatness and he imitated.
no. It's like,
okay.
It's like let's make it easy to find.
Yeah.
Like somebody types in
Like we did.
It's okay. It's okay. He saw greatness,
John.
and
You're
he
part of the
said,
greatness.
"That's greatness," and I will
Take
pull
a
it
drink,
down.
Chris.
So you can say, yes, We are great.
We are great.
As he took a drink.
We're making Wednesdays great again.
Ooh. Speaking of which, Harry
That'll
Potter
push us to
trivia
the
tomorrow.
topic. What?
Speaking of Harry Potter, what'd you say?
I was like, speaking of Wednesdays, Harry Potter trivia.
I don't know
tomorrow.
what that means.
I need you.
I could rock Harry Potter.
I know.
trivia.
That's why I said I need you tomorrow. Him.
I've got
I
to
could leave
play
him.
BFA. Sorry. Josh is waiting on me right now.
That's a fair point. Speaking of fair points, how about we get to that topic?
Is it time?
It's been time
Hey,
at least for 10 minutes.
Is the oven timer going off?
No.
Are the noodles boiling?
Are they?
Huh?
Huh?
Is
I
the-
know what you're saying.
You see what I'm doing?
I'm going to throw this to you. Topic time. I don't know why they're laughing.
Oh my god.
But the topic is... You okay? This show is just going great. The topic is Overcooked 2.
Yeah, it is.
I would like to say there's like some sort of like
Overcooked.
sub. Yeah, like I would like to say there's some sort of like complicated subtitle to the sequel. There's not. It's just, it's Overcooked 2. Or no, it's Overcooked exclamation point 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you and Shaun played this game.
That's a theory. The theory is that we played together.
We did play. In fairness, today's Tuesday. I got the game yesterday.
How many days did I play?
You got it since what, Tuesday or Wednesday of the prior week?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been playing.
So I played for 6 days. He played for 1.
No credit for getting it, so he can eat a Richard. But no, I picked it up, and I mean, in theory,
The sad part is that in one night together, we cleared quite a few
yeah,
levels together.
How many total levels are they? Like, what does it go up to?
It's 6 worlds, if you want to call it. Each world has 6 levels to it. So 36 total. And then on top of that, there are, I believe for every world, there is 1 Kevin level,
John,
as they call them.
So Kevin, Chris claims he's the star of the story. He's a dog.
He really is. His name is Kevin. He goes bark.
Yeah. If you've seen Overcooked before, I mean, the mechanics are pretty much, from what I can gather, the same. I've never played an Overcooked
Correct.
before. Chris played Overcooked 1 when it was on Microsoft Game Pass. Was it in anticipation of Overcooked 2, or would you just play it because it was?
I just played it.
I kept saying, you got to play this. Jim.
Everyone who has played this game has said like this is the best like multiplayer game ever.
John, it's really, 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 really fun. I was hooked. So when I downloaded it, I had to go take my little
More
girl.
fun than Vampire? I don't think so.
Way more fun than Vampire.
You know, they say that got a 68 on Metacritic.
This is serious, Sean, right now, and I'm going to answer that question seriously.
Ooh, serious.
Way funner than Vampire. So I downloaded it. We both got it on Nintendo Switch, John, for your information.
And to be fair, I feel like in retrospect,
To be fair.
Oh no, what are you going to say?
that was a mistake.
Possibly.
And I don't mean that so much of you. I mean in the sense of like, this was my main concern. I don't know how it is on other consoles, but my one criticism here that I landed in with Nintendo is that if I get on there and I play online, like this is the biggest addition as far as, between the first one and the second one is that now there's online matchmaking. Before you could only do, John, if me and you wanted to play Overcooked, you had to come over to my house. Either that I had to go to your house and we had to sit down. We had to play this game. So now,
John, we've couch co-op.
Exactly. Now we finally have the ability, whether we're going through the campaign or we're just doing arcade type stuff, to actually say, you're in your house, I'm in my house, let's connect and play. But the biggest criticism I can add to that,
He's really trying to keep it cool.
Dude,
and I am.
You
I'm
ever
doing a
been
great job.
You ever been kind of like buzzed and you're like, I got to get this serious thing across?
I am. But anyways,
His face is amazing. I rarely say that about Chris. I'm saying that right now.
But anyways, as far as this, like, I can imagine if you're on Xbox or PlayStation, you could go into voice chat very easily and talk to someone about what you're doing. I don't know if that's the way Overcooked 2 works on those platforms because I haven't played it on there, but I would like to believe if you are playing the game and you like just go into a random lobby on those consoles that you would be able to hear whoever you're playing with and communicate with them. You don't have that on Switch. You just don't have that. I'm so trying to give it.
Yeah,
but
the Switch limits you for that, obviously.
So what did you guys use to communicate? Discord?
We went through Discord, and again, this has been my main criticism whenever we've talked about Nintendo Online.
Are we about to do this?
I don't give. Look, the fact is, I'm not going to use whatever system they have, and that they are now asking for money at the end of next month. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. I would rather connect. And this is the way it went down. Me and him got into a Discord that we were commonly sharing to talk. And like, it sucks that's the way that is versus say every other online system that is out there where sure, I can limit myself by going to party chat, but if I go into regular chat, I would have an ability to communicate with anyone that is coming on to.
Chris, I'm going to tell you something. I am so going to listen to this tomorrow.
This is the greatest show ever. Honestly, Chris, that point that you make, and I love Nintendo. John and Eric, we're fanboys of that system and that company. When me and you were first starting and I'm having to get on Discord and make sure my headset's hooked through my computer through Discord.
I want to try.
And then we're playing on, that's very inconvenient. It really is.
To be fair, there's a part of me that wants to title this episode Drunk Arguments and just go from there.
But Chris,
we're going to do a new podcast called Drunk Gaming.
Look,
we should.
Once we got playing, I forgot all about it. I had a headset on and I was playing a game.
The part that really paid off for me last night was once you took over being the vocal guy, because I will say this, like,
put it there.
Have you guys like watched shows like Hell's Kitchen or Iron Chef and all that?
Yes.
I'll say this, like, it was really nice because Shaun came in and he started being vocal once I got him keyed in what was important.
Yeah. Shaun's
right. Like you didn't like I've been playing for a week by myself, and that's a very different experience where like for the most part, like when you're playing by yourself, you're going back and forth between two characters. And you're just managing. It's very different than when you go online and you have someone that's there and you're like, look, we need to know what we need to be in line about.
So yeah.
And like Shaun, to his credit, because I know this about Shaun, whether it be professionally or not, he's a very vocal guy. And once he took over, I kind of just shut up. Like he started saying, all right, the next thing is this burger, and this burger needs meat, it needs patty, it needs cheese.
So Shaun's the guy that grabs the ticket and goes, all right, we got
he's doing that. And I'm over there, I'm like, okay, we need patty, we need cheese. I'm going over and I'm making sure we are running things to a precision.
It was so fun.
And like when we got in that groove on those couple of levels, like there are a couple that we got really out of sync on, but the majority of them, we started going into this place where Shaun would call out the orders. And no matter what, because I had been playing this game for a week, I knew everything. I knew exactly what we needed. Are we making, I'd be like, Shaun, are we making beef stroganoff? Is that what we're making tonight?
We're stroking off beef.
I will get you some beef stroganoff. I will get you that.
Dude.
Oh, wait. You want some sushi? You want some tuna rolls? I will get you tuna rolls. It is coming up. And I would just find a way to take whatever he was communicating to me and make sure that it got delivered to him in a way
and it works.
That it got delivered on time. And that's what's interesting about this game. Like for those who have never worked in a kitchen or anything like this or watched those shows.
Yeah. But I've watched the shows. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't understand like kitchens for the most part, they break down because of a lack of communication
and execution.
versus execution.
Yeah.
And when you have those two things, even when you have someone like you who was coming into
kind of
this,
new, yeah.
when we finally played together, you were unexperienced compared to me who had been playing for a week. You could see what happens when someone delivers solid communication versus someone who understood what his processes were. And we got in the flow.
Okay.
And once you get into that flow, like there were people we were playing online and I thought we were going to lose.
Smoked them,
we were
John.
smoking them. And then there was this other time early on where we didn't realize we were on opposite teams and Shaun thought he was helping me because we're on the same team. And I was just smoking him because he was helping me.
It was that. So yeah, I mean,
but we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to talk about more so like how this game at its core, when it's doing its best, it's about people, one, having a way to communicate one to another about prioritizing things. And you can even take out that whole entire communicating part and even make it something that's just on yourself. How well can you organize things? How can you compartmentalize?
He's powering through.
Yeah. How can you compartmentalize something like where you say like, hey, I need to manage these two things by myself. And that's what's great about this game is it challenges you to think in that way. And it is very realistic to how I feel knowing people who have worked John, you've worked in the restaurant business, right? You understand how this works. Mm-hmm. I have a friend right now who I went to college with that is a manager at Chili's and things like that. Like those kinds of things, talking to them. My buddy Mikey, his wife is a chef.
He's a culinary chef.
Yeah, yeah. You know, like being able to take something and be like, okay, here is where we need to end up. How do we get there?
Okay.
And breaking.
Let me ask. So for the audience who is thoroughly entertained at this point,
sure,
they might just want to know the who, what, when, and where of the game.
That really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
There is the idea of Overcooked 2 is that the unbred have taken over.
The story mode, instead of the undead, everything's made from a food standpoint.
Yeah.
There's like a king that's an onion. He's got a dog named Kevin.
The Onion King.
Is the dog a dog?
Yes.
It's actually a dog.
The king is an onion.
And basically at the beginning of the game.
He's got a crown, so it makes him a king.
King Onion. So these bread things come out, they're called the unbred, and then you gotta go around and like cook things at different places. The levels really shine because, like Chris said, they take you to these different lands, and then each level adds new experiences to your cooking order and your area that you prepare.
Exactly.
You're in a hot air balloon at one point where fire's coming down at you, blocking your ways to get your prepared meal to your service area.
You're on a raft.
You're on a raft.
You're on a boat.
The raft is moving. So
not a boat. A raft.
There's one where the raft that you have to put your plates moves left to right.
Oh, yeah?
Chris is on one side, I'm on the other. So I'm doing certain prep work here. Chris is doing certain prep work there. We've got to get together at some point to get it on a plate and then get it back to each other. A lot of that kind of thing going on.
Is it a puzzle?
It's not a puzzle in the sense that you're thinking. You start off and literally, as the load screen comes on, it says, hey, this is the recipe you're going to be doing for this level. And if it's sushi, like Chris said, you're going to be working with rice, seaweed, and whatever kind of meat you want. And then they're literally little boxes that have those icons on them, and you open them up. Certain things have to be cooked on frying pans. Certain things have to be boiled. Certain things have to be diced. Everything that you have in your levels, there's a lot of things that can go on. So then you start and these little tickets pop up, bing, bing. And that's what Chris said I was calling out. When we got really good, we'd call out, hey, we need just a shrimp and rice, or, just a patty and a bun.
I would actually call it, I know he just kind of said the opposite. I would call it a puzzle. It's like saying,
yeah, in a way it is. You're right.
Yeah. It's like, for instance, sushi, right? Sushi, when you're doing sushi, right, you understand like the puzzle is no matter what, I need rice. I need rice every single time. And rice, when I make it, takes this certain period of time to cook.
Right.
So no matter what the secondary ingredient is,
you gotta have rice.
Yeah, like if
no
whether
what.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Thank God that wasn't a PBR.
right? Whether it be a single player or you're doing multiplayer, you need to, between whoever it is, if it's yourself or there is other players, someone needs to understand that rice consistently has to go on the pot.
Only when you need
boil.
rice, John.
Because no matter what the secondary things are, if rice isn't there, it's going to break down. And it's the same way with like if you're doing burgers, right? No matter what, if a burger has cheese, lettuce, tomato,
you got to have beef.
You got to have beef. Exactly. So someone always needs to be chopping up beef. Or if you're doing pizza, you know there's always going to be dough,
And sauce.
pepperoni, or I'm sorry, dough, tomato, and cheese. Those three ingredients will always be included in those things. And once you start going through the various levels and learning the recipes in this game, you understand things that you have to prioritize. And whether it be
That's a great word.
And like it's interesting in the fact that whether you're playing by yourself and you are going back and forth between two chefs that you individually are controlling, or you are working with someone else, you understand no matter what the case is, you have to prioritize those things so that when orders come up, you hit the delivery time that is expected.
And the chaos.
Because whenever you miss the delivery time, you lose money as far as what your score is, and it ends up being a negative. And like if Sean's over there and he's, say we're doing burritos, right?
Now we're on burritos.
This is the best thing to parlay. Say we're doing burritos and Sean is just chopping a ton of mushrooms. But the order,
we had mushrooms in our burritos?
We did have mushroom burritos. I know you didn't realize it. I assembled them.
Yeah. Okay.
But like imagine he's doing that. Like that's
burritos.
all he's focusing on is mushroom burritos. But I'm looking
the worst.
me on the other hand.
burrito.
Me on the other hand, I'm looking at the orders coming in and everyone's like, well, I want beef. If Sean is like just doing what I'm
I'm
telling him,
hammering out mushrooms,
like
dude.
I'm the guy who's the communicator and I'm telling him to do these things and he's not cognizant of the window and what is expected of him. Eventually it comes back to bite us. And that's the brilliant of this game is that if you do not deliver things in the order in the time they are expected, they subtract from your score.
So each ticket,
they come back and they say like, hey, I've been waiting here for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
You ain't give me my burrito. What is going on with my burrito right now? But if you can stack up what is expected of you and understand like, hey, Sean, the next 3 orders you need to put out need to have mushrooms.
I'm putting out.
I'm so curious about what you have to say, Sean, but this is just
I know.
comedy gold.
Yeah.
I try. Sean, talk.
Mushroom burritos.
I don't know what to say, Chris. No, going back to the ticket part. At one point when I first played the game and when I first downloaded, I was playing it on my actual Switch, holding my Switch. When we played last night, I put it on the dock and my setting was off, so I wasn't seeing the tickets like he was. Above each ticket when they come in, there's like a green, it starts off green, goes to yellow, goes to red as far as a timer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So once that timer gets down, the ticket will start shaking, letting you know, hey, you better get this out the window. The whole point is to get as many orders as you can out the window, made properly within the time frame, and you're going to earn points. Those points on each, anytime you play are going to turn into stars. When you play like a solo mode story, you're going to get, there's up to 3 stars you can get. And then as far as when you play online against people, the same thing is going to accumulate and determine your score, and that's how you determine who wins.
Correct.
So more orders you get out, the more points you get. The more orders you get out, you get points, but then if you miss some, there's going to be a deduction. That deduction really could hurt you. It could hurt you as far as winning your match online or getting you 2 stars to 3 stars and things like that.
Like imagine you're at 300 total points and all of a sudden like you miss an order and it goes down to 220. That's the
difference between a star.
And a 3-star goal is, which is top that you can earn in any level is like, I don't know, the score is like 450. And like, you know, you were at 360, now you're down back to 300.
So
you have like 10 seconds. That's the interesting part of this is that no matter what the situation, whether you're playing by yourself or with someone else, it's such a tight time frame.
Yeah.
And like, it is amazing how quickly you realize there's only 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
And
Well,
there's only so much you can do.
That was my question. How long do you have for green, yellow, and red?
For
Depends
each
on
ticket?
the order.
I don't know. That's it. I
Yeah.
don't know. I just know that some go down a little faster than others.
Yeah,
Simple orders, I think, have a shorter time frame.
Sure.
that's accurate.
And then the longer ones, like a burger that would have lettuce, tomato, cheese, and meat, would probably get a little bit more
Yeah,
time
if you let an order that's like, for instance, as he said, like a burger that's literally only meat and a bun,
Yeah.
just sit out there and you're not taking care of it, it's gonna hit. And you know what? You're like, well, why wouldn't you take care of that? Well, it's because as you're trying to deliver things,
That order comes in amongst the other chaotic orders you got coming in.
that's the interesting part of this game is like how much chaos they just in great organization. That's the best way to say it. Give you
Great what?
whether it be like when you're playing by yourself and you're trying to organize how things
You said
work.
prioritize
and-
earlier. That's organizational skills.
I mean, like imagine
and
like
prioritizing are huge in this game.
imagine you are like two separate people, right? Like Sean's himself, I'm myself, and we're both trying to run things. We're both like trying to accomplish the same goal.
But
But imagine like we meet in the same path.
bumping into each other.
Yeah. And all of a sudden I fall off the map.
And then, all right, I told you
And-
before
and
that
then,
you
like,
were on
the-
a hot air balloon, John. You can fall off that hot air balloon. Sometimes you're in a mine system underground where there's a hole in earth. So you fall down it.
What's the health rating on these things?
None. You just die.
Imagine there's like a ghost level where
The stairs.
disappear.
Disappear.
And like Sean's trying to run across an order and all of a sudden disappears and he just falls into the abyss. Not only does he die where he takes 5 seconds to respawn, but God forbid he's carrying an order, a completed order
That took
with
a
him.
long time to cook and get ready.
That goes away.
Yeah, you don't
That
get it.
dies with him. So like,
Your
you know,
order dies with
Sometimes the levels are so smart, they'll put like a mechanism in to where you need the oven or the set of frying pans, but something moves to prevent you from getting in
we
that-
have
in
this
that
problem
area.
with pizza.
So like, and this is where Chris to bring it back, where he says it's like a puzzle. There's one outlet that when you see the object moving, right, from left to right, you need to kind of go up to the outlet and make sure that both of you can split from that. So you still maintain a presence on one side or the other of the element.
We played this level, the first time together where what he's talking about, where like basically this line of cutboards where you can actually chop up the ingredients that you're going to need to use for the recipes moves. It moves periodically throughout the line. The first couple of times we played this together, me and him were having mic issues and I was having connectivity issues. And as such, we started ending up on the same side of the line. So we got broken off from certain ingredients, sometimes from our plates, and even at the worst case scenario, from the oven that was cooking the pizza.
So pizza
And
burning.
here's the kicker in this game. Whenever you're cooking something and you do not pay attention to it, eventually it catches on fire.
Does it get overcooked?
And let me tell you something. If it catches on fire, it very quickly spreads to other areas and does multiple damage. So you always want to be in check of that. So like me and him had to have this system, you know, after a couple failures that I'd say like it took us 3 times, right? To finally get it right.
Least, yeah.
Where I had to be like, Sean, no matter what we do right now, wherever this line of the cupboards is, someone needs to be on the left and someone needs to be on the right.
And it
because, you know, whether we're always changing up what we're managing directly, if we don't have a person on either side at any moment,
We're
we are
done.
we're
Toast.
handicapped.
Dare I
Because
say we're toast.
if we need, like for instance, if we need more plates, if we don't have plates,
plates.
yeah, no, we don't have someone to go get them.
Yeah.
If we need someone to deliver the pizza and we're both on one side, someone can't do that. If someone needs to get tomatoes for the pizza and we're both on one side, we can't do that. If we need dough and we're on the other side, we can't do that. It's like,
Dude, and
it handicaps you in a way that if you're not strategic,
You had to swallow.
I know.
If you're not strategic, dude, you're just, some of these levels are going to just absolutely.
Yeah, they eat you. Like the first couple levels, you can just kind of bumble through. I think that's fair to say.
Kind of like this show.
As you said,
Yeah.
like, yes, yeah. Kind of like this is disaster.
In this presentation of the game, you literally are Shaun, the sous chef.
Yeah.
You're just kind of feeding Chris all the info.
But you're like, he's my masterpiece. Yeah. That's what you think when you look over here.
And I can't tell you enough, and Chris definitely respond, amongst all of this chaos, the fire that you got to put out.
Oh my God, that's
and
the
the
worst.
ovens and the moving objects and running and throwing objects off buildings that you're not supposed to throw objects off of. It's so fun. Each level, I never got mad. I never got frustrated.
Imagine like a level where you are on the opposite side of your chef and there's a conveyor belt.
A what?
A conveyor belt. It conveyors. It's kind of like Big Van Vader.
Conveyor.
Yeah. You have to consistently.
God.
You have to
He was
consistently.
mansplaining that to us.
Conveyor, like Vader.
Yeah. Like Vader.
Just like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Big Van
it's a
Vader.
moo point, like a cow's opinion.
Moo? It's just a moo point.
But like, imagine like you have to consistently put things on this Vader belt and. Golden. Imagine things you have to put things on this belt for your.
It's just a belt. It's just a belt, man. It's just a belt.
You're on the other side, John, and I need you to do this. Like, you have to consistently communicate because it's like, okay, hey, we need to make hamburgers, right? I have the beef on. Imagine this. Imagine I have the beef on my side, but you have the cutting board on your side. But on top of that, I have the actual fry pan on my side. So now there's 3 interactions that need to have.
He's throwing me the beef. I'm cutting
has
the
to
beef, and
happen.
now I'm throwing the beef back to him to fry.
Like having that
Crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, having that level of communication between you and your players, whether it be co-op where everyone is working together, which we've done, or it's competitive,
Which we've done.
It is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It is crazy, and it is like every time you think you have this grasp of what is happening.
Beer burp.
Like you're like, I have this complete grasp of what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. You're like, I'm drunk,
But something
I've got a
happens.
grasp of what's going on. You don't.
Something
like
happens.
any drunk person like me, right? You don't have a grasp of what's going on. You really don't. Every time you think you have everything together,
Yeah.
something goes
Just messes
wrong.
up, yeah.
It just goes wrong.
And like you mentioned, there's the story mode, which is the single player. You can also co-op through that. There's an arcade mode, and then there's also a online competitive mode. So,
The game ending levels are called Kevin levels.
they're so hard.
So like the main
they called
character,
Kevin
Because of the dog.
Okay. So yeah, the main level or the main story is based off of the Onion King and his dog. His dog is named Kevin, as it should be, right?
Of course.
Every dog is named Kevin. Hey, what up, Hank? And the idea is these are the most complicated levels. And I will say this right now, Shaun, you haven't experienced it to its full understanding. F Kevin levels. They are.
dude, I unlocked the first world
They are
area
hard.
Kevin level, and I did not know what I was
It
doing.
was like, hey, take this beef
Yeah.
and
then
chop
do-
it up
and
and
then
then
do
mix
this.
it with this wheat and then put it into a
Yes.
steamer.
Yes.
Is so much
That one.
work.
Yes.
It is so much work.
And the point levels to get stars on Kevin's levels, ridiculously high.
Yes, like doing all that, it was like 500 plus stars on a single level, which, to its credit, I don't know if this was the case in the first game, but definitely with this one, if you are playing single player versus, with friends, it does adjust the demand as far as how many orders you need to get out and the star rating.
Oh.
To
I
get
didn't know that. That's
yeah,
pretty good.
It does adjust. Like, so if Shaun and I are playing together 3 stars, which is the top score, might be 400. versus if you're playing by yourself, it might be 200.
Gotcha.
So it does adjust in that way, which made it a lot funner because I tried to play the first Overcooked by myself. I tried to convince you guys, like, get Game Pass, let's go play this game together, but it didn't.
I don't remember
happen.
this at all.
He would often
You
tell
were,
me.
you were Josh. It's okay.
Okay.
I don't, shh.
But he's so lovable.
Yeah, he is.
He's awesome.
But I tried.
You, Chris. You're
Yeah,
very
I
lovely.
tried to get you.
He's got such a sweet caress on your arm right now, John. What's happening? He's all touchy.
But
In about 30 minutes, he's going to become violent and hysterical.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
start drinking some vodka Noj. You never loved me. Get out. No. That said, I don't think this is some sort of legendary game. I don't think this is something you're gonna pick up and like literally for 5 to 10 years play. You know,
You're right.
It's not gonna set some sort of bar of multiplayer games that you're consistently going back. But that said, two things. One, if you have fellow friends who are willing to buy the game
Yep.
and get together to play
Yep.
it on the same console,
Preach.
or you just have this situation, and this is the great thing about, I will say, the Switch, maybe to other consoles. You have multiple controllers for the same console, and you like have this night where you're like, look, you know, what's the equivalent of game board night, or, you know, just inviting people over to say, come over, let's play this thing that we like. This is a great party game.
It
is
really
like,
good.
It's fun to watch people try to say they're going to easily communicate and fail
And
with
just-
such
and
level.
just be a mess.
Like,
It's
John,
just a mess.
if I could get you and Clarissa in and like to watch her scream at you, not in a way that she hates you, but in a way of like, hey,
do this
is really
meathead.
hard. Yeah.
What are you doing?
She's like,
John,
I make 5 type mac and cheese for you all the time.
All that.
Why can't you cook a burger for me?
dude, John, on
That kind of thing.
on the digital version of this game is only like
It's
$24.99.
$25, yeah, and
It's worth every penny to me.
totally worth it.
It's got charm. It's got awesome levels. It's got different character models you can unlock, and you can pick different chefs as you're playing, running around.
And you
Fun
will
fact.
never touch it again.
Fun fact.
That's not true.
I
Fun
will
fact.
guarantee.
I played.
Let's bet.
Do you think I played Toad in the last 3 weeks?
Nope.
All right, I'm going to call a number after this show, and we're going to tell people, what's happening right now.
Fun fact, John.
And you know what, John? Even if we collectively don't touch games after we play them, we played them, okay?
What is happening?
I just want you to know you can play as a panda in this game. Yeah. I said it. Panda.
Shaun,
Oh,
save me.
my God. All right, well, let's, since we're obviously at that point, would you feel like giving it a Richard at this point?
So many.
Yeah, I thought about it all week.
What, just a Richard in general, or?
Just consistently, I'm thinking about my Richard, if I'm being honest. 8. Solid 8.
I'm with you. I'm like maybe an 8.5 at the most, because
Cause there's no story like
that,
in
like,
this.
captivating. It's strictly the gameplay is
Yeah.
so cool, and just the chaos, the controlled chaos on each map. It makes you want to go back for more. It's super good.
Even if you're not playing with people, you could go, I mean, like, it's about, without the Kevin levels, I think is an additional 6, but the core game itself is 36 levels. It's kind of that setup of what you get with Mario, Super Mario Odyssey or anything like that, Super Mario Galaxy, where it's like you need to attain a certain level of stars to unlock the final levels and that kind of stuff. But outside of that, once you beat it, if you're not playing with anyone, it's definitely going to be a one-off. If you love these kind of games, go buy it now. Otherwise, if you see it on sale and you at any point feel like you play multiplayer games, totally worth picking up.
Yeah,
Totally worth picking
totally
up.
true, Chris. John, I really would like you to pick up this game, man.
Do you Is there couch co-op?
Yes.
Yes, there is.
There is couch co-op, John. It actually says couch co-op.
Okay.
Yeah.
Literally says it on the package.
COUCH, John.
All right.
You guys want to do some news?
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
I bet you do.
I thought we were wrapping it up. Is that at the end?
Oh, you thought we were going to wrap it up like the show?
No. When did we say wrap it up?
emails.
At the end.
At the end?
At the end, yeah.
Okay. I've had a PBR.
Yeah.
We know how quickly it takes you. It takes me a lot more, and I've gotten there. I won't deny it.
I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider. We don't need to sing no more.
Shut it down. I was like, you started going. I was like, nope. All right, let's go to news.
Hot off the press and straight to your ears. Weekly Games Chat presents the news.
News. We didn't peak, and I was drunk.
People upstairs like, why the did I just hear news?
I just realized something.
What?
What'd you realize?
He has to read.
Oh
my God.
goodness. I just realized it with you. That's so blurry to me.
Hold, please.
All right, so Chris, we're already past the topic. You don't have to read Overcooked 2 out loud. Oh, this makes it great. You zoomed it in.
Xbox One Gamescom recap. Xbox One continued their recent tradition of hosting a press event at Gamescom. During the presentation, there were a number of announcements. These included Devil May Cry 5 will release on Xbox One, PS4, and PC on March 8th, 2019. This is pretty big. PUBG will leave Xbox game preview on 9/4/18. The Sanhok map will come. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Sanhok, Chris.
Yeah, let's go with that. Will come to the platform as well as a new mode called War Mode, as well as achievements. So, like, say, Sean, you and I, in theory, have been playing this game.
Well, you're deviating from the news.
Yeah, I know. We'll get back to that. But say, like, me and you.
Yeah.
Imagine those times. You remember this.
Yeah.
There was that time we were on, like, this side of the bridge, and people were on opposite.
Oh, yeah, I do.
And imagine, like, we won the match.
Because we did.
We could get Xbox achievements now for that.
Whoa.
That's pretty big,
That's
right?
pretty BA.
Pretty big. In addition, a limited edition PUBG controller will be released. And hey, get this, it features triggers that have grips built into them. I saw it today. It's like you got the trigger and there's a little grip in the middle.
That's pretty dope.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can't be slipping off and complain about people because I didn't have enough grip. That'd be Mike D.
That happens on the reg.
Yeah. Next big one is Hunt Showdown is coming to Xbox Game Preview. Per Polygon, players will take the role of a bounty hunter in search of monsters hidden in the swamps of Louisiana. The game launched on PC earlier this year, through Steam Early Access. On top of that, DayZ, which has been in early access on Steam for years now, will be coming to Xbox Game Preview on 8/29. Halo Master Chief Collection comes to Game Pass on 9/1, along with an update that will fix a big Mira program or like issues that people have had, but most importantly, it adds 4K HDR for those who have an Xbox One X. And finally, they also announced 8 new Xbox bundles, including a Tomb Raider bundle, a Forza Horizon bundle, a Battlefield 5 bundle, and a Fallout 76 bundle. All of those, except for Fallout 76, have both Xbox One S and Xbox One X models. The Fallout 76 only has an Xbox One X model. The Xbox One S bundles will be priced at $300, while your Xbox One X bundles will be priced at $500. In those cases, you get a digital copy of the game with the console that you buy. It's nice. Yeah, I find a way. What?
This isn't fun.
Yeah. Living up to
that was almost perfect.
Yeah.
It's sickening.
I don't like it.
Look,
what if when he's tanked, it's reverse?
It's like that's when I go into Reggie Miller, like shooting threes.
Yeah.
I just look at you.
See,
like,
John, Reggie
Jay.
Miller was and is.
See, you would be Spike Lee.
Ooh. an angry Knicks fan trying to taunt said Reggie Miller.
Apparently his new movie is supposed to be really good, by the way.
Knicks. New York Knicks, John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he sat there. Did you ever see that shot, John? I have to ask you this because the next thing's about basketball. John, did you ever see Reggie Miller hit a three and look Spike Lee in the face like he just killed him?
Yes.
Greatest thing ever, isn't
I
it?
saw that.
It is a greatest thing ever.
I enjoyed it.
I saw it live.
I remember that. Yeah. Remember when Reggie Miller took the Pacers back from 5 down with like 8 seconds left?
And I think that was the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greatest
I
thing
remember
ever.
No.
NBA 2K19 has revealed My Career details and its cast. For anyone that bought Madden or FIFA and was set to take over and thought they were set to take over the mantle of best narrative for a sports video game, 2K wants you to know it's time to step up your game. 2K has revealed its latest iteration of its most popular mode, My Career, and it is called The Way Back. This year, My Career will see your player nickname AI attempted to overcome the trials and tribulations of NBA stardom. Highlights in the trailer included gameplay included in the China League, the G League, and a slew of solid acting talent to play the roles of mentors, rivals, directly honest friends, and love interests, as well as GMs.
Eccentric.
Yeah, as well as eccentric coaches and a social media manager. The well-rounded cast includes Michael Rappaport, Haley Joel Osment, Anthony Mackie of Avengers fame, and Ricky Whittle. Those who watched the 100, he's in that. It's like really weird to see Michael Rappaport.
Is that what you think I'm talking about?
Oh, you're talking about this genius that's going on?
No, if you're paying attention, he's not killing it. He butchered that one.
You think so?
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
I tried though.
I'm going to enjoy this tomorrow.
He didn't butcher that one. You think he butchered that one?
So you're saying you take pain in my failure?
John, do you think he butchered that?
That hurts.
Joy.
Do you think,
say
John,
you love me?
Yes or no for real?
You said your name was Kiki.
Did he butcher that one?
Yes. If you look,
in Chris
you
fashion.
have to tell him eccentric
That's
coaches.
it.
He literally stopped reading.
It was silence.
I skipped over.
And his brain was going, nah, not today.
Shenmue 3 gets a release date. The crowdfunded project will, with a cult status
Here we go.
following, will now release on PC and PS4 on August 27th, 2019.
Lord.
I almost said October. Nearly 2 years after its original announced release date, which was, I believe, December 2017, a new trailer was released with the announcement. I did not watch it, but it looks
It looks Shenmue-ish.
yeah, looks like it's martial arts.
Is this about a killer whale?
No.
You would like it to be.
It's about Japan and stuff.
Japan.
And a guy who wears a leather jacket.
I saw the Shenmue 1 and 2 collection.
That's dope.
It's coming out in I think the next week and got rated and
Dude,
its reviews did not seem too highly.
well, I wonder.
So I don't know.
I mean, just
speak of what you will on that. I don't know what that means for the
Speak
game.
of what you will.
speak of what you will on that, man.
Just saying.
Just saying, dog.
Just saying.
Next up, Front Software's latest gets a release date. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, From Software's ninja game based in the Sengoku era of Japan, will be coming to PS4, Windows PC, and Xbox One on March 22nd, 2019. Alongside the standard edition of the game, there was also a collector's edition, which will include an art book, map, soundtrack, replica game coins, and a shinobi statue. So I have to say, this surprised me. Yeah, I think it's kind of big because of what John said. Who's the folks that do Sucker Punch? They're like samurai game that's coming.
Yeah. The one
I kind of feel like
I
have to say I thought that was going to make it to market before this did, and
now this one's coming
yeah.
fall.
So I feel like this could gain and benefit
not
because
fall, spring.
Yeah, well, yeah, spring, which is that's their typical release period, right?
Yeah.
Usually they release it around March, April.
Do we know when the other game's coming out?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's another one I'm about to announce, I think.
Another one.
Hey, that's like...
There's a lot of stuff in March coming.
Another one.
Yeah.
Another one.
I have no idea what I'm saying, but I've heard
Another
it.
one.
You're really close to DJ Khaled and his intros to his
DJ
songs.
Cal! Oh, sorry.
And another one.
Another one.
Yeah, but you're pointing your finger at me and stuff.
Now I'm pointing my finger up to God.
It's just,
Bless him.
just like DJ Khaled. It's just,
God bless.
it's interesting just because you think like the last thing that was Ninja Samurai based was what's it? Neo, right? So it's been a while. People have been waiting. Thank you. John, he doesn't care about these things. Yeah, he's like, this is my straw. I don't need to say catchphrases.
I put my hand on my hip when I chew straws.
I put my hand on my hip when I dip, and when you
we dip. Okay,
and then you dip,
I got you. How good was that song?
right?
Like, for my youth.
Can we just like get a track that's like nothing but Cupid Shuffle? Me and you?
Why would you want to do that?
Because
You know how to do the Cupid Shuffle?
do I?
Oh my goodness.
To the left. Kick it back now, y'all.
That's not the Cupid Shuffle.
Is that not the shuffle?
That's the
Wait,
Cha
what's
Cha
that?
Slide.
Ah,
That's the one you know how to do, huh?
what's that? What's Cupid Shuffle then? Why do
To
I
the
know?
right, to
To
the
the right. Oh,
yeah.
to the left. Okay, gotcha. Crisscross.
No.
Yeah. No. Isn't that on there?
No.
Is there not crisscross? I thought there was crisscross.
No.
Everybody clap your hands.
Yeah.
But that's not
Cha-Cha
the
Slide.
Cupid Shovel.
Yeah.
I'm dating myself.
Sean,
Yeah.
white people.
I know.
Jeez.
Anyways. Diablo 3 officially hits the Switch. Even though Blizzard has denied its existence for months, the company has finally confirmed what the world has always suspected. Diablo 3 is coming to Switch. The game will be the Eternal Collection version, which includes both your Reaper of Souls and also the Rise of the Necromancer expansions, and will be available for $59.99. While no exact release date has been provided, Blizzard has stated it will be out this fall.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I think we heard that there was going to be like 3 big upcoming Diablo announcements, and
This is one
everyone
of them.
said like,
Yeah, we reported
even
on
though
that.
Blizzard was always saying, no, everyone was like, this is
Don't
happening.
you talk about Blizzard.
I'll tell you, I'll put Blizzard in the corner. What they released lately that you would care about.
But,
what has Blizzard released in the past month that anyone would give a flying flip about?
I really thought he was going to drop the F-bomb.
I was hoping.
I was like, please.
Yeah.
You already know.
I know what you know.
Can you imagine how fun this game would be playable on the co-op?
Great mobile.
Pairing your
Or while
your switches.
you're co-oping,
In handheld
but
mode?
you're both pooping.
It's a perfect poop game
Just
because,
looting your junks off.
I mean, like, the only thing that sucks is you can't, of course, carry over your progression from other consoles, right?
Which is
But-
okay.
I don't know that we know that for a fact yet.
I've just presumed it because it
Sorry, guys.
hasn't been true on anywhere.
That came
But
out of nowhere.
Outside of like Xbox 360 to Xbox One and PS3 to PS4. That's been the only time that's been true. But like,
The nerve of
regardless of like what pains you may go through your first month having to get through the main story and get back to torment levels afterwards, like the idea of like, yeah, you know, I need to take a dookie. And so I take my Switch to the bathroom and I take a run through a torment level 4.
When, John,
You
was
know.
the last time you heard, I need to take a dookie?
So you can take this cookie.
No.
And shove it up here. Oh, sorry.
This is a good get for the Switch.
It is.
It's an old game.
It's Blizzard working with Nintendo, which makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Blizzard was all like, look at this folder. Oh, sorry. No, not that. That's what they need.
He is. He's on it.
Yeah,
I
he
like
is.
it.
Speaking of being on it, Dark Souls Remastered
What?
has a new Switch date, And on top of that, a collection is coming to Xbox One and PS4. After a seemingly last-minute delay this spring, Switch owners will finally learn to get good on October 19th. As Dark Souls finally comes to the Switch, the game will include the Arcturus of the Abyss DLC and will probably be responsible for the death of 1,000 Joy-Cons. Additionally, at Gamescom, Bandai Namco also announced the Dark Souls collection, which will contain Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, will be coming to Xbox One and PS4 also on the same day at $80. All three games will also include their respective DLC. If I'm Switch, I'm kind of pissed off on the second announcement, but I don't blame them. Right?
No,
Who don't you blame?
I say, like, if I'm Nintendo, I have to be pissed off on the fact that you're saying on the same day that we're putting out this game for $60, you're going to put on our two competitors
for $80 and
for $20 more.
Particularly if you recall how Dark Souls Remastered got announced.
Yeah, it got announced on the Switch.
Nintendo Direct.
Exactly.
And
they should be pissed.
I mean, this is just...
that said, if you haven't bought any of these games, $80 for all three, that's a
good price.
That's at least
and it's all their
150
DLC.
to 300 hours right there of your life that you can die repeatedly and cry about. Unless you're Ben. Unless you're Ben, right? Who I have to believe he just like goes home and blindfolds himself and he's like, come at me.
These days, yeah, probably.
That's what I believe happens. Indie Darling, Gone Home is coming to Switch. Gone Home, the indie masterpiece from Fulbright Studio, which incidentally just turned 5 years old, will be out this Thursday, aka tomorrow if you're listening to this, August 23rd on Switch. Soon, Switch owners will be reminded just how creepy their 90s houses could be when no one else was at home. And John, you and I agree on that part, at least with this game. Like walking around and finding VCR copies of your X-Files recordings from your dad and just going like, there's no one here right now.
The scariest VCR recordings that you'd find was in Resident Evil 7. They were frightening.
Oh, yeah.
You beat that game, right?
No, I didn't beat that game, Chris.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Because Jeff wanted me to ask it.
You still got that game, right, Sean?
I mean,
just wanted to let you know you haven't beat that.
The Nintendo Switch's pitch should now be, did you miss out on the previous generation?
That's a fair point. There's
Even though they are getting Doom Eternal.
Yes, they are getting Doom Eternal.
Blows my flipping mind.
But the question is, do they get it the same day as everyone else? And will it be up to snuff compared to their competitors?
No, of course not. No.
Yeah.
Of course it won't.
And that's the thing. I'm like, well, like personally, I would love to experience, and I respect this, right? Imagine I buy on Xbox One X with 55 million teraflops.
Yeah, I think that's where we are.
Doom Eternal, right? And I go through it. But then a year later, it comes out on my Switch. And now I can poop and Doom at the same time. This is a new thing I have not had. I've had maximum teraflopage of Doom. Now I need to know how many people I can kill while I pinch a loaf. And that's important to me. I don't know about you. It's important to me.
He said poop and Doom.
He did.
Poop and Doom.
This happened.
Patrick Soderlund is departing from EA. EA's chief design officer, Patrick Soderlund, is leaving the company after nearly 20 years. Soderlund was previously the CEO of DICE, which was acquired by EA in 2006. I want to say 2016.
You can say 2006.
Yeah, 2006. In a letter from CEO Andrew Wilson offers no direction or direct reason for Soderlund's reason for departure, but stated, quote, "We wish Patrick the very best in his next life adventure, and we thank him for his many significant contribution." Soderlund was the driving force behind the Frostbite engine as well as EA Origins, but he was also a constant fixture for controversy
Yeah.
for the company such as the closing of Visceral Games. Sorry, John. And the Great Battlefront 2 loot box controversy of 2017.
First of all, I love that controversy was said that many times.
Controversy should always be said in that.
No, I mean that many times in a row. It was great. Well, thank you for everything, Patrick Sutherland.
Yeah, it's really weird because he used to, like, if you went back 10 years ago, he was a beloved guy in video games because he was this voice of, like, a great FPS studio that made this perfect battle simulation. Like, you know, it's like, hey, imagine you can be in World War II, but there's tanks, there's planes, and you can shoot people as you do these things. And he went from that to being this person that had to responsibly manage various facets, both good and bad, for EA, where it's like, okay, hey, here's this good thing. Like, yes, EA Origins, I have to agree. I'm not a huge fan of Origins, the app, but like what they did as far as EA Access and all that, which came out of that, that's a cool thing. But on the other hand, he had to be the guy to be like, hey, by the way, we really screwed up loot boxes for this popular franchise you want to play. So I have a lot of respect for him for taking things on the chin. I can understand maybe why he doesn't want to continually do that. And maybe he gets more back to, at some point, finding a company that's a little smaller that isn't owned by an EA, that he can be like, hey, you have a really cool vision. Let me build that up and bring it to the forefront of gamers so that they understand what they need.
I mean, I don't know if this was a controversy, but look, I think last year or the year before, he was given $40 million plus a $20 million sign-on bonus just to stay a little while longer.
Yeah, they paid him a lot.
So I'm wondering if he was not hired back. What am I trying to say? I think I'm as drunk as you.
They hired him, Matt, because he's a very popular guy.
But I don't know that it had much. I don't know that his dismissal or him leaving, whatever you want to call it, had anything to do with controversy.
No.
Although there was a lot. I mean, we talk about these two prominent ones, but let's not forget last year the decision to combine Battlefield and Titanfall a week between released a week between each other. That's
wait, no, you're not talking about. You're talking about Titanfall and you're talking about Battlefield 1, was it right? Yeah, Battlefield 1, and that's fair.
Completely ridiculous.
And I don't know if that's on him, but like
because somebody forgot to go to business school.
Yeah, it's like it's not necessarily that it was his decision. It's that he was the guy, and like if I had to take a guess, this is why he probably departed. Right, was that he was the guy who had to defend everything, regardless if it was his choice or not.
Sure,
he was the guy who was put in the forefront of that. And the biggest case of this recently was. It's like, oh, hey, we really screwed up our decisions on Battlefront 2, which probably more so came out of a place of appeasing stockholders as opposed to one particular person's decision. And therefore, we have to eat it now. And you were the guy that says creator, or was it chief creative officer or whatever, go out there and be the CEO that eats this because we don't want our CEO out there. And that's what it is. So I can totally understand why he wants to leave. I wish him the best of luck because he seems like a genuinely nice person, honest person at least. It's just like, how much can you sling BS?
Sure.
I mean, and with something like EA, you have to understand that's going to be a chief thing because you're in a public company.
Yep.
So. Dishonored is taking a break from John? I'm sorry, John. Weekly Games Chat co-host John has never been shy in declaring his love for Arcane's FPS action masterpiece series Dishonored. So it's with a heavy heart that Arcane told him they need a break. At this year's QuakeCon, lead designer Ricardo Bear spoke about the series, saying, quote, I can't definitively say, look, I copied this. I can't definitively say what might happen down the road. anything could happen, but Dishonored is resting for now. Bear offered no details on Arcane's next project. Dishonored and its sequel were highly praised upon release, but the sequel failed to place in the top 10 games sold when it released in 2016. I mean, it didn't. It came out in November 2016. It did not place in the top 10 of MPD for November 2016, which anyone who looks at sales data, usually with video games, your first week is your best week that you'll ever had, of course, for I'd say 90%. So that was the case here. And it kind of like established this growing trend. John, you respect this of a lot of Bethesda, like second hand games, right? Like where they release and sure, they get a lot of praise because outside maybe like Prey, sure, they didn't get a lot of praise, but like, Wolfenstein 2 and of course this game, they both got a lot of praise and they just didn't sell nearly as well as maybe some people had hoped.
Plus your single player experiences.
That is true.
And you know what a decline that's on. But most specifically, this is not a surprise. I mean, at one point, a creative designer for Dishonored series says, it's on hold. If we ever do go back to it, it's not going to be these characters. It's going to be something completely different. So,
and I hope that.
I never expected them to jump on the bandwagon anytime soon. I mean, look, while you're right, these things have not sold gangbusters. I do believe that they've made their money. I do believe that they've garnered profit from their games. And if that is all it takes for Arcane to continue making games, that's fine with me. Even regardless if it is Prey, because I thought Prey was a brilliant game.
Hey, regardless of what they've done, I don't mind a studio taking a break. Look, you can make a case way back in the day that BioWare should just keep making two things. They should just make Dragon Age and they should make Knights of the Old Republic, right? They took a break from both of those and they made Mass Effect, and it was an amazing trilogy, if you ask me. If Arcane takes a break from Dishonored and they make an amazing game next, who cares that they took a break? If it's, sure, it sucks that it might be 6-8 years before I see another Dishonored game, but if Arcane is making a masterpiece like Dishonored was, in my opinion, both that and its sequel, who cares? All that matters is that there's a great game. And if they come back eventually, I'll be really happy because Dunwall, and I can't remember the name of the second city. What's the name of the second city, John? You know.
I forgot.
Apparently that's probably why it didn't sell well. But at least with Dunwall, it was an interesting place to walk around and to learn about its lore. Xbox and Sony have revealed new controllers. Tired of your bland black controllers on your favorite console twice? Well, or twice, yeah. On your console of choice. Good news.
It's getting late, bro.
Both Sony and Microsoft have new controllers available this fall. Microsoft is set to release a translucent controller called the Phantom Black Special Edition, as well as a gray-blue combo. Additionally, it was leaked by The Verge that Microsoft is working on a new version of its Xbox One Elite controller planned for release in October, codenamed Washburn. Sony, meanwhile, has 4 new offerings. Berry Blue, Sunset Orange, Blue Camel, and Copper. You know what? I'm a really nice guy, so if I recall, I pulled this up for you guys as far as the Sony ones. If you ask me, Sunset Orange is just a excuse to Auburn fans. Would you agree?
Or Clemson.
No.
Dude, that's more purpley blue.
Yeah,
now, to be fair, Orioles fans, they're buying the Copper one, right?
I do like that berry
Baltimore
blue
Orioles.
now that I get a second look at it.
I feel like that's
I kind of like the berry blue too, but
when I'm looking
I
at
always like a good camo
when I'm
controller
looking
too.
at the blue, the berry blue, I think like that's the official No Man's Sky controller.
Yeah.
I can
Does it
see
feel
that.
like it? Yeah.
I can see that.
Just the way it's designed.
I promise
its
you I'm not
colors.
buying Sunset Orange though.
No, I
You
would
can
burn
keep your
that
orange people.
F Sunset Orange.
It's a great controller, though, isn't it?
What, the PlayStation controller?
Yeah,
the Nintendo
really
Pro
is.
controller?
Second best controller this generation. Well, no, wait.
If Nintendo's Pro
agree.
Controller,
I agree.
no, if it had
Third
What are you
best
doing?
controller.
Sean's
this
talking,
generation.
Chris.
Third best controller this generation. PlayStation. Number 1, Xbox One. Number 2,
boo.
home. Number 2, Nintendo Switch Pro controller.
Sure.
Number 3, DualShock.
Xbox One Pro controller is last on my list because it's really hard to go from the trigger to the shoulder with your pointer finger. It's an awkward transition.
Let me ask you, how long does that Pro controller last, though?
A long time.
Compared to your DualShock?
Hours upon hours.
7 to 8 hours.
The DualShock battery blows,
It does.
especially when you. Why do I sound like my sinuses are messing up now? Did you hear that?
No, you sound great.
You're just saying that. Tomorrow you'll be like, man, that guy sounded tired AF.
To me, you sound like a hero that can save us.
That battery life on all the Nintendo stuff.
It's great.
The Joy-Cons, like, they're amazing.
Like, I think the Joy-Cons average out about 12 hours.
Yeah.
On per Joy-Con.
That's 24 hours combined.
But like, and again, like, so you're saying like, here's these two separate things. And again, they last longer than just one charge on the DualShock. Yeah. And that's like the big criticism, like, our buddy Mike.
You just wanted to say Chris-ism.
Yeah, criticism. Our buddy Mike, like, this week, he posted this meme.
Leaf or?
Yeah, Ryan Leaf. Yeah.
Okay.
Ryan Leaf posted this meme in our chat with us where he was like, all like, look at the Xbox One controller, it has batteries. And I was like, who gives an F if it has batteries?
Yeah.
When that controller goes for 30 hours compared to your 8 hours.
Yeah. I agree.
Because it's my biggest complaint whenever I'm playing my PlayStation 4.
But you say all this, Chris. Do you know who's playing my Xbox controller? Tinley upstairs playing Disneyland.
As she should. You know, look, we're building a generation.
Yeah, we are.
When we come back to the next one, she's going to be all like, Dad, you have to buy an Xbox. You're going to be like, what do you mean? And be like, you've let me play Xbox for 10 years, Dad. It's time to own it. Bethesda put Sony into a cross-play corner.
Oh, no.
Bethesda's Elder Scrolls Legends is already out on PC and mobile platforms, but President P. Hines is preparing for its upcoming launch on consoles by calling out Sony, stating crossplay for Legends is critical to the game's success. Quote, for Legends, it's absolutely critical, both crossplay, which is how Legends works right now on every device. You're playing against somebody who could be on any device. And more importantly, cross-platform progression, which means no matter what you do on any platform, you load up the game, and so long as you're logged in, here's all your progression, here's everything you had, everything you were doing. If you were in the middle of a match on PC and I flipped your laptop closed while you were in the middle of a match, you'd load it up on your phone and you'd be right back in the match where you were. That is a must for us on any platform. If we have to start segmenting our audience to say folks on this platform can only play with folks on that platform, or any progress you make on this platform can't be there, then man, that's a bad situation. We are moving ahead with the assumption that any platform we release it on must support cross progression and cross play. When asked if the PS4 release could be pulled if Sony refuses to allow crossplay, Hines answered, I imagine. The answer is fairly dire, but I don't want to jump to conclusions yet because there is a lot of space between yes and no. Would they say no to this but yes to this? It could present unforeseen and a workable solution. That said, look, this is good to me because is a major, Bethesda has been this interesting thing where like, because I don't think they're like a public company, right? They're a privately owned, but still stock-based company. It feels like they can take shots like this. Yeah. Like P. Hines can come in and go like, no. I ain't got no stockholdership piece. F you, Sony. Yeah. Get on board or else we ain't coming to where you need to be. Crossplay is happening for our game. We don't care about what you say. And like he went on and he said in other ways, he went and said, like, look, like, we would like to have it on Fallout 76. He said it wasn't a necessary thing to make 76 work or to be a hit. But with this, a smaller title, right, than 76, he's doubling down, and he's basically saying, no, we gonna be crossplay, and we don't give a F how you feel, Sony, about this. And if you want some profits, you will cave.
This is the card game.
Yeah. Well, no, this isn't a card game. No, this is not the card game.
Elder Scrolls Legends is the card game.
I thought, no, this is like the solo version of the mobile version of Elder Scrolls they have. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you might be thinking of
the one they revealed.
The one that's coming out soon, Blades.
Oh, I think John.
Oh, maybe, yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, this is the card game. So
I will find out.
Dex,
or it says Dex, so yeah.
Oh no,
yep, you might be right. I will eat crow.
Just put Legends on the Switch, man. Seriously,
I'm sure it's on the Switch.
Or how about leave Hearthstone alone?
F Hearthstone.
Why you got to come get some Hearthstone? Oh my. Yeah.
Yep, it is a card game. But I can understand where they're coming from.
This is just like Hearthstone.
Yeah, of course it is.
God, everybody copies Blizzard.
Well, of course they do.
Copy you know.
Somewhere Squaresoft is going like, you're copying what we did in like Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, well, this is fun. Dude, card games like this, John, are so fun with the animations, and once you start understanding what the cards do and how to win, it's so...
Hearthstone still blows my mind. I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's not wrapped around. It can be fun, but it's not wrapped around a very good tutorial. It's just
I can agree with that.
It's just like, there you go. Here's some cards, and you're getting
John,
smoked.
The cards tell you what they do.
They do, but they don't.
But
you know
they
what
do.
I'm saying?
I do and I don't.
You're getting smoked by somebody online, and you can't even understand why.
Well, it's called being dumb.
Or no, how are you not paying attention to what's happening during the
Shaun,
game?
you need to shut up.
So we can wrap this up.
No,
but I never do. Bareback for life. What?
Mountain?
What?
Look, when it comes to Sony, I fully support, whether I agree or not, I fully support their stance on not doing crossplay. That being said, I don't support them not doing crossplay when it comes to having someone's separate account tied to a Sony platform that they can't bring to other platforms, because you don't own that data.
Yeah. The big thing with this.
Exactly.
The big thing I would say with this is like, this is a game that obviously is going to be built in at least some regards, if not a major point, on microtransactions, right? Like, people are going to go out there and they're going to buy packs trying to get certain cards. And that's fine. I don't mind that, because you can easily compete in these games based on intelligent gameplay and deck design and just battling your way to get more things. But I have a problem with if I have to start a deck on Sony's platform, and then when I go to everyone else's platform, I have a different deck that I'm building. Like, that's not cool, right? I want a situation what Pete Hines is talking about. Like, I want to be able to go and say, I'm here at home. Let me turn on my PlayStation and play some Elder Scrolls Legends. And then when I'm at work, let me pick up my phone and play some Elder Scrolls Legends. And I don't want to think about which platform I am on when I'm buying packs, I'm spending money, whatever, because it's all going to one.
You say you want this, Chris.
One system.
Well, I mean, that's all well and good, but if they're trying to do that with this game, why don't they do it with Fallout Shelter?
I mean, I think
he
said this.
Switch, you can't go from PlayStation, you can't go from Xbox.
He said this,
and then go to your mobile phone.
He has said this.
Game.
He has said this. Like, in a perfect world, that would be the case, but that's not the way they built. He also said, like, that's not the way they built that game. I understand what he's saying. Like one is a single player experience, and you get by doing this. But what he's saying is the other is literally built to be picked up no matter where you are, to play wherever you want. So in a perfect world, yeah, I agree. I should be able to pick up wherever I want in Fallout 76 and be like, Sean, I don't care if your shack's on the Xbox server or the PC server or the mobile server. I'm going to take my dude and he's going to come out here. And the moment you walk out of your little shack, I'm going to shotgun you in your face. I'm going to take your stuff.
I mean,
because I love you,
if Bethesda,
but it needs to be done.
Like you said, they're not a publicly traded company. If Bethesda has some sort of board of directors, this guy's going to stand before them and go, yeah, we didn't put it on PlayStation. And the board will say,
could happen.
So what did you have against 80 million players?
And he's going to say,
that's the conversation. This is all talk.
To me, Bethesda, I think, though, he can win this.
Bethesda's the one that's going to cave here.
No, I disagree because he can come back and you say, why didn't you put on 80 million? He's like, because I wanted congruent talk between these 30 million people.
I understand what he wants.
These 100 million people on PC and these like 500 million people on phones.
I understand what he wants.
So 80 million, yeah, it hurts. But if he's getting every single one else to come on board to what his vision is, who cares?
I bet you he's not speaking for the board of directors. He's doing an interview.
Maybe.
And if he's,
I don't think he would say that though.
If he shuts down PlayStation because of talk like this, I don't see that going well. I understand.
I guess we'll see.
I understand that he's right, but as I've said on many occasions, being right is not a bulletproof vest.
Sure, that's fair. I would just, I mean, look, we'll find out pretty soon because this is supposed to be out by the end of the year on consoles. I would just more so bet that P. Hines, to me, seems like a smart guy as far as what he says and what he does.
But he even walked it back at the end of the statement.
Yeah,
he goes, okay, I'm not going to say no. It could be somewhere between
he sees certain things.
Because I'm sure he's giving himself an out in this statement.
Well, if he can have a thing like, okay, imagine like a situation with PlayStation, you say, look, you can't play with other players, but you can carry over your account. What does he care then? Your progression is going regardless. You just, when you're playing on PlayStation 4 servers, you can only play with other PlayStation people. I understand that point completely. He's saying like, look, the big thing he doesn't want is a situation like right now what's happening with Fortnite, where it's like, hey, I have this.
Nobody's talking about Fortnite anymore, Chris.
Oh, they are. They very much are. And like the whole entire, I mean, throw that out what you will, but it's an issue.
I'm not saying that nobody's talking about the game. Nobody's talking about that controversy from 2 months ago.
It's still controversy.
Nobody cares anymore.
They do, but I mean, like if you sit there and you think about it, I don't want that scenario. And he doesn't want that scenario. He doesn't want this scenario where you go where you want.
Sony won that battle.
How?
Because nobody's talking about it.
I would say they are. I mean,
show me an article in the past month.
Okay.
Seriously.
I'm fading.
Anyways,
THQ. After half a beer.
No. I'm just tired. He said, I'm kind of with John, Chris.
Oh.
People aren't talking about Fortnite anymore.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's the power of capitalism. Over time, your idea is that you stomach whatever is going on and you move on.
It would have mattered. Well, exactly, but it would have mattered had everybody stopped playing Fortnite on PlayStation and went over to another platform.
You know where I think it come. Look,
that's exactly
if I had to be honest, the thing where it's going to resurface and it's going to play the most major damage, regardless, right?
Did you say half a beer?
3/4 of the beer.
I drank the whole thing.
I was just jabbing you.
It hurt.
2 sips.
Anyways,
that jab went straight to my jawline.
Anyways, I think like the place where what you're talking about plays the most is probably at the launch of the next console generation. I think that's fair. I mean, like that's where it comes out. If Microsoft comes out and says, "Look, we don't care what happens this generation. We could sell 100 million Xboxes. We promise you this. We will always allow crossplay." And Sony comes out and they say, no matter what, F crossplay, we want our money. There's a freaking issue for the fans to decide on right there. And they will have to decide with their wallets, right? They can make a choice whatever the way they want. But that's a choice that presses on them.
That depends. Does Fortnite still exist?
I'm sure it will.
Do they have their saves?
But will they have teraflops?
And will they have a choice of moving their saves to the PlayStation 5, and that's the only option they have. So it matters.
Yeah, sure, it does definitely matter. We'll see.
You talk a big game, not you.
Yeah.
You talk a big game, but when push comes to shove, you got 300 hours in this game, and you don't.
I agree.
And you don't have the sack to start over.
You say that, but then I thought the same thing about Call of Duty, and I watched a bunch of people switch on that.
Are you comparing Fortnite's data and saves and all the stats you have to a Call of Duty?
I'm talking to the fact that
short, yes.
Yeah, I'm comparing to a franchise that annually sold
John.
sold
There was a time
30 million
annually. Yeah, but I'm talking about a game that doesn't end.
Exactly. Yes, that's what most Call of Duty people would say is like.
There's not gonna be a Fortnite 2.
We're still in early access to Fortnite 1, technically.
Yeah. You are not.
You want to bet?
They're never going to charge you money for this thing.
Do you want to bet?
They're never going to charge you money for this thing.
It's still in early access. I don't know because I don't work for them, John.
Sounds like you don't care. I win.
They'll find a way. THQ Nordic
Life.
Yes.
has acquired Time Splitters IP.
Who cares?
A lot of people apparently. THQ Nordic has acquired the Time Splitters franchise from Crytek. Quote, "We are hugely excited to have acquired Time Splitters. The original game gave fans a massive content offer and provide a pure and genuinely fun arcade shooter experience. 3 games were released in the early 2000s to high praise before the studio behind the game's Free Radical Design suffered sales problems with other titles. I think it was called Haze or something like that. I can't remember the name. This is pretty big. I never played the Time Splitter games, but I remember in the early 2000s consistently reading about these games and how hyped people were about them.
I've never heard of these games.
Really?
Yeah.
They were big on Sega consoles.
That's probably why, because Sega sucks.
Ouch. Damn.
Except for the Dreamcast.
They were on that console.
Oh, I played Crazy Taxi and other games.
Did you? Did you play NBA 2K?
I did.
Did you play NFL 2K?
They were glorious.
I love NFL 2K.
Yeah.
That's cool though. I mean, like if anything, it just shows that THQ seems to be they have the right idea. Acquire everything you can, parse out what can work and what cannot.
He said parse out, John.
And go from there.
I like it.
Next up, Halo Infinite is Halo 6. While it was implied, 343 Studios has confirmed to fans that Halo Infinite is the next official entry in the main Halo franchise, and it's not a prequel or a spinoff. Jeff Easterling put it in plain terms during a Mixer stream saying, quote, "It's Halo 6. You should just consider it Halo 6. The game will feature a debut of the studio's new Slip Space engine. I think that's supposed to be like, from my understanding, that's like the next gen engine for that.
Yeah.
Like that's,
you know how I know that too? Because I've never heard of the Slip Space engine, Chris.
Exactly. So you're like, obviously it's from a place of space that I haven't been to.
That's the next engine.
Yeah.
So you should consider this a Halo 6 game?
Yes.
Even if it's a turn-based RPG.
No. I think, and I figured when they were teasing up, I was like, there's no way they're teasing an offsuit. Because, like, I remember Halo 3 coming out, and it wasn't, next year was ODST, and the year after that was like, oh, here's Reach. There is no way after 3 years that they would come back and be like, by the way, here's this glorious trailer that we're offering very little context for, that very much looks like it's on next gen. And, by the way, it's prequel. It has nothing to do with the next thing.
All I'm saying is you don't show a trailer like that.
Yeah.
Without the clear intent of making the next iteration of Halo something very different.
Yeah, I think,
to say that it's Halo 6, what people think he's implying is it's just another Halo game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, guys. You're going to be sorely disappointed if you think this is just another Halo game. It's not.
I think it will be a design
You heard it here first.
I don't know how the main story will be. I'm sure it will conclude whatever they've set up in the new trilogy. I think the idea when I hear Infinite, personally, is this idea of like, here's this online system that we're going to continually update and build for fans that are Halo. Like, the thing that most people don't seem to realize is that, like, Halo 5, when it came out, it sold well, and then it started building on sales after the fact. Like, it's done very well post-launch. Much like in the way of Rainbow
Shaun
Six.
does well, too, after launch. Of course, he's slipping.
I'm slipping?
Yeah.
Why am I slipping?
Your eyes are just glazed over.
Yeah. I'm just tired, man.
Come here.
I'm usually calling in the bed in about 30 minutes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I work from home tomorrow.
Yeah.
Where are you training tomorrow?
Huh?
What line of business you train tomorrow? You still know
That's
cancer?
personal.
Yeah. No.
Don't say this stuff. It
No.
gives it away, Chris.
Yeah.
They don't know that.
No, I'm in my own area now.
Oh, you're in your own area?
Yeah.
You get to work from your desk tomorrow?
No, I mean like my own area.
Speaking of your own area,
Can I like
Speaking of something in my own area at my house.
can we like Skype all day tomorrow?
No. Why would we be able to do that? I'm going to be at work.
I thought we were friends.
We are, Chris.
You said you were
Just read
close.
finally, please.
Finally this week.
oh yeah, oh.
It's not you, it's me. I've had beer.
Finally this week. PlayStation VR has hit 3 million.
Nice.
Sony has announced that it has sold through. That's not like put to people, but actually sold through. 3 million PlayStation VR units, as well as 21.9. Let's just say 22 million. Let's just go on and say that, right? It's probably hit by now. VR titles. Additionally, the company has now provided a top list of its selling titles. They include number 1, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim VR, PlayStation VR Worlds, Rec Room, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, PlayStation VR, the Job Simulator, Until Dawn Russia Blood, Batman Arkham VR, Farpoint, and Super Hot. Additionally, the company has now gave John the best excuse ever to finally buy a copy of the hardware, as it is announced that VR title Creed Rise to Glory, aka the boxing game based off the sequel Creed, which is based on the Rocky universe.
Rambo, aka Rocky, aka Sylvester
somewhere.
Stallone.
I have to believe Stallone somewhere in this game.
He's gotta be.
It will be out on September
Yo,
25th.
you over there pushing that
What
back
you do?
for?
Hey, I hear no bell, John.
Why are you pushing that back?
I will never buy this game.
You have to.
No.
You have to.
Why are you afraid to punch?
Are you
be a
racist?
grown man punching in your house with a stupid mask on your face?
If it was called Rocky Rise to Glory, would you buy it?
Shaun, do you think this is an impressive
Ignored.
number? 3 million.
Yeah. I believe that, basically the VR, the landscape, it's starting from somewhere and it's going to grow. And obviously this is the first really, I guess, numerical value we've got that shows how it's growing.
Yeah.
In 2 years?
3 million's not
Less
like
than 2
through
years.
the roof, but also it's a peripheral that you're buying on top of an already expensive system
Like Kinect.
with
More so.
not that many really AAA specific titles for it. These are a lot, the titles are made for the VR. But if you see here like Resident Evil and then Elder Scrolls are in the top, like what, 5? That shows you that people want AAA titles in a VR format. People are excited about it still. People still play it. I recently tried to introduce 2 of my friends to it.
Were you successful?
I don't know. I think maybe one, but maybe not the other.
I'm just not impressed with this number. It's like, this is completely anecdotal, but I tried Oculus,
Yeah.
came home
Yeah, you
that
did.
night. My wife said to me,
Your wife.
Your wife.
"Did you play it?" I did. What'd you think? I said, "It was really amazing."
Yeah.
She said, "So I guess we're getting a VR set now." I go, "Nope, I don't want one."
Right.
And I think that's the mentality. I think people think it's amazing. I think people enjoy their
possibly.
experiences with it.
Dude,
But let's consider. Look, it was half the price, but a Kinect for Xbox when it came out was $150.
yeah.
In 2 years, they sold 30 million units.
Yeah.
And the majority of those were bundled with consoles.
Yeah. That's a fun fact.
That's, but still, let's
AKA,
say,
you could buy a $200 console and just include a Kinect.
let's say it was a majority.
The
Does that
overwhelming
mean
majority.
Does that mean the minority Was 3 million units?
I think the thing to point out with Kinect is that I don't know if they ever sold 21.9 million
Kinect games.
Like, there was maybe at most 3 titles that people ever thought they needed to
I'm
have
just
for
trying to
Kinect.
present the case that possibly, I mean, you said last week that this met sales expectations.
It did.
But you have to be careful with that terminology. Just because they expected it to sell this doesn't mean that was their goal.
They said that's their goal.
No, you said repeatedly this met sales expectations, not sales goals.
Right.
Those are 2 very different things.
It is.
Goal
And
is
they
what
have.
you want. Expect is what you know.
They have said that within their first year.
When Nintendo was reporting losses with the Wii U, they always used the terminology sales expectations, not sales goals.
Their sales goal, if I recall, for the PlayStation VR in its first year, they wanted to sell 1 million. They sold that in about 8 months. And since then, like, the bigger thing is they had a cool down period. And then afterwards, as price dropped on the product, they've seen exponential growth. Like, we hit 2 million. I mean, like, it's easy to forget this. Like, 2 million came in like February of this year.
Hey,
so you're saying in less
the
than
Wii U came out with Mario Kart, and the console sold exponentially.
I guess, like, the way to say is, like,
Increase of
there's
600%.
not like considerably like some high end title that's always driving this. I think the way to see it is that it's this thing that is new. That's a fair point to say. It's in its infancy stages compared to
sobering up.
Everything that's going on with games, right? It's in an infant stage.
Yeah.
It's something new. We've never seen this before. And the way to view it is
The way to
like
view it.
HTC, the way HTC Vive the other week, or just like this week, announced that they have a wireless
That's legit.
adapter coming to their headset.
PSVR.
And
It's going to be pricey.
Yeah, but the thing to say is, like,
Dude.
you're already seeing where everyone who has this, whether it be HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, or PlayStation VR, I think they all understand where they're going. They all understand, like, look, right now the race is to get to a wireless device. That's where they're all going.
And
the
if
question
it does,
is,
dude.
the question is the market survivable until they get there? And I would say, from what I've seen, yeah, it is, because
Yeah,
like
same here.
Beat Saber came out in June this year, and as soon as it hit on Oculus, everyone was talking about it. They had an Oculus, and like all these little games, whether it be Moss that was coming out on PlayStation
Still my
4,
favorite
or
PSVR
like
game.
other things, like there was a game that was developed by
Chris, he's not sold.
I can't remember if it was Crytek or whoever, that I saw the trailer for at E3, and I was like, I really want to play that, and I think it's going to end up coming to all 3 consoles as far as VR brands. Like, the moment I saw it, I was like, I'm still invested in this. Like, it's fine.
3 more things to consider.
Yeah.
1, a popular title or a title that got significant praise, Resident Evil, on the platform. Resident Evil 2 is not coming to VR.
That doesn't surprise me.
That should tell you something.
No.
It's
a remake or a remaster, whatever. It's
To me, one is a major produced
It's a
thing.
remaster.
Well,
that's
to
your
me-
reason. Listen.
Okay.
I'm trying to make 3 points. Let me give me some time to make
talk
them.
to me
Go
about
for
that
it.
again.
If Doom
Uh-huh.
or an you never saw on this list of top 10 Doom on here.
Because Doom VR sucked.
Doom's not coming back.
It sucked.
Sure, but Elder
It was-
Scrolls
it
is
was
number
sucked.
1.
What?
Elder Scrolls is number 1.
Bundled with the machine.
Who
Right.
cares? So was Doom.
Okay. All right. You're telling me that Kinect bundled with a console doesn't matter.
Well, I would
Now
say
you're telling me this matters.
the bigger thing I would say is Job Simulator is number 6 on the list.
Let me make 2 final points.
Yeah.
All right.
Why are you getting defensive?
I'm not. I'm just trying to talk.
I'm
You
not.
sound defensive.
I'm not defensive.
Today, on Podcast Beyond,
Sure.
a letter came in and said,
I don't care what
Give
they
me
have
your
to say,
pri-
by the way.
you don't care what Brian Altano has to say?
Not at this point. I don't care about that show.
Can we just say what the letter said?
But go ahead.
I want to know what
Yeah.
the letter said.
I really don't care about PlayStation or
Is that
podcast.
drunk Chris just talking?
No, I mean, like, Podcast Beyond what used to be as opposed to what it is now, I don't care about it. And I mean, like, no disrespect to them. They are entitled to make the show that they want to make, and that's cool. the show that they made 5 years ago is not the show I care about now.
Okay, are you saying you don't like their format?
Sure. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, like, yeah.
How about their thoughts and opinions as
I don't care about their thoughts and opinions as the way I did. Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just saying that.
Just saying, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do right now.
I don't know. I mean, it's an opinion. Yeah, take it for whatever if you love PlayStation podcasts beyond on IGN, power to you. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of what they've become. I'd rather listen to Sacred Symbols, old Collins podcast.
Their collective opinion
things like
in
that.
the media. You don't care about that? Say
No.
you don't like their style. Say you don't like their platform. Say you don't like the intro music, all that stuff. But to collectively say you don't care about any of those opinions in there? Andrew Goldfarb?
I like Andrew Goldfarb.
Max Scoville?
I don't
Marty
like Max.
Sleva?
No. Well, Marty Sleva's no longer in IGN.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Brian Altano. You don't give a crap about his opinions.
I've never given a crap about what Brian Altano
Why are you name
has to
dropping?
say.
It's making me uncomfortable.
You shouldn't feel uncomfortable.
Never given a crap what Brian Altano has to say, personally.
This is collapsing.
Yeah. But anyways, I would just say, look, to me, you're saying there's 3 million units. There's 22 million titles basically sold. That's like 7 titles per average on people. That's there. That means a healthy ecosystem. Sure, it's small.
I'm going to get this out whether you care or not. When asked about the potential and the growth of the PlayStation VR,
all right,
there were 4 people on the podcast today. Collective groan across all people.
Okay,
but those opinions don't matter.
I mean,
but ours do.
I never said they didn't.
I think the groan happened because they need to see more titles, and a lot of people were thirsty for titles that we aren't getting. We love what we've got right now. We just want more.
To me, I've always said
had a huge attach rate. Failed console.
Yeah.
To me, the way I've always...
You're right.
To me, the way I've always...
But I like my VR, John.
The way I've always viewed this is kind of... It's early technology. I mean, like, I'm not expecting it to be the game changer or the industry standard.
Motion controls was early technology.
Yeah, I'm trying to say that I think this has a better build-up versus something like motion controls, which came up and blew up and said, hey, here's like 100 million units sold that have motion controls. And it doesn't end up working out because there's a lot of just basic malware. I think this is something... Really? I think this is... Okay. I think this is something that is building up and will be a long-term delivery. Like, and Shaun, I think you see this too, where...
Yeah.
Maybe in like, not now. Right. I'll agree with it. Right now, like, we're not in a place where VR is the standard of anything. But I could see like in 10 years from now where, hey, by the way, here's a wireless headset that can do just as powerful as any other console that's out there. And I can put it on and I can go into a first person world. Now, I don't have to just use a joystick, whatever. But in 10 years.
They better hurry up then.
Well, I'm saying
because if I know anything about gamers,
why do they care about in 10 years?
If I know anything about gamers, they lose interest fast.
You say that, but
you say that.
I say that, but
you say that. When
they might view. Hold on, wait. Third-party games, or I should say, third-person games, started building in 1996 as far as 3D graphics are concerned. That built over nearly 20 years, and now it's in perfection mode. So anyone who says that something just because it's not perfect when it launched, go back and play a PlayStation game that was in 3D, as far as graphics back in 1996 and tell me it's as nearly as good as something played today. I challenge you. You're going to find disappointment. But if you go back and you actually play those things, you'll see like, oh, it set something up that came further down the line. That was very powerful.
But it cost $59.99.
Yeah.
Not $300.
I agree with you. And that's the thing. It's the beginning part of a movement. And I would say don't disrespect it now because I definitely...
No one's disrespecting. I'm just telling you it's a failure.
I would... 3 million's a failure.
In 2 years with 80 million consoles out
there? But
there?
yet they're completely satisfied.
No, you don't.
Sony.
You don't know the difference between meet sales expectations and meet sales goals.
But they said
it's PR speak, as you like to say.
So wait, they said we want in a
expectations.
year, we want to hit 1 million. In less than a year, they hit 1 million. In less than 2 years, they hit 3 million. I don't understand where the failure is on their part, other than like you saying, here's an unreasonable expectation. You must do what Connected because it was bundled with it. And we're going to make that comparison versus what they want the console to do, which is, hey, sell enough to get enough software titles out there to make us a profit. And 21.9 million, aka 22 million, seems to be a decent basis for a start. I wouldn't say they should start on that or they should end on it. But if you said like in 3 more years, they've gone for 3 million to say, I don't know, 8 or 9 million PSVR titles sold or headsets sold, and that like grows to say from 22 million to, I don't know, 60, 70 million units sold as far as titles. What do they care? That's an investment. That's another place of profit for them on top of regular game sales.
Look, Sean's smelling his fingers right now, so I think we better move on.
I just wanted you to play Creed for me.
I'm not going to do it. I'll see the movie 10 times.
Yeah, you will.
Will you listen to Nickelback?
Huh?
Hero will save us.
Electronic mail from the future.
Emails. If you want to write your thoughts to Weekly Games Chat, you can do so by writing into weeklygameschat@gmail.com. First up, Sean writes in.
I did?
You did.
Oh,
you
my
spelled your
goodness.
name wrong too.
Oh, I'm a mess.
Right? He says, hey guys.
Hey,
Say hey.
Hey, Sean.
John, say hey.
What's up?
Hey guys, Sean here again. Hope you guys had a good past week, ?
Yeah, it was all right. Things happened.
Oh wait, I hit the space.
Okay. We're good. Yeah, we're good.
I want to be
Chris.
sure.
Just calm down.
I hit spacebar and then one.
Everybody just calm down.
Wanted to thank you guys for good advice last week. I fired up my Xbox One XXXX on Friday for We Happy Few, and an update was immediately required before playing, and I was relieved to see I had the full game accessible to me. On a side note, I hope to see a good game between the Longhorns and you guys this season, keeping you guys on your toes, but wishful thinking, I guess. Looks like we have a slash face of smiles. Anyways, I had an idea for a topic. Maybe you guys could do a top 10 or 20 of you guys old school games from the NES or original Xbox, PlayStation 2 days. A few of mine are Metal Gear for NES, Secret of Evermore, and Zelda Link to the Past for SNES,
Boo.
and Legacy of Kain, Metal Gear Solid, and Final Fantasy VIII.
I wasn't booing your Zelda, I was booing his SNES, sir.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. Speaking of Metal Gear Solid, you guys been following the director of Kong movie? He is in works for making a Metal Gear Solid movie.
I did not know that.
I did not know that too. He has some concept art already. What is your thoughts about this? Seems pretty cool to me if he does it.
Yeah.
I hope he does it. I love a freaking Metal Gear Solid movie.
I think that genre could actually be pretty dope in a
Do
theater.
you feel like though it should be like everything should be produced and directed and coordinated by Kojima?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah,
If it's not on the screen 47 times before we see the main character.
I just can't believe in it.
Yeah.
Can you?
No.
No. Once again, thank you guys for the advice and game on.
Game on, sir.
Game on. P.S. Let the power of the Richard be with you this week.
Indeed. I do need a little extra on my Richard. What?
Oh.
What did I just say out loud?
Next up, Scott Skiles writes in. He says, "Hola, amigos.
Hola, senor.
I was having a debate with a friend about movies based on video games and
funny.
whether or not any objectivity decent, or there are any objectively decent ones. While the fan trailer for Nathan Fillion's Uncharted movie was awesome, I doubt if we'll ever see something so perfect to be realized on screen. This world doesn't deserve it. Sad face. But it got me thinking, what movies have I seen recently that would make a great game in their own right? I came late to the party, but I recently got around to watching both John Wick films. If there ever was a series that would make for a killer game, it has to be those flicks. Combining Hitman, GTA, and every touch of fantasy, I can't think of another cinematic world that would be more ripe for exploration in a video game. AAA format. Thoughts? All the best, and game the F on, Scott.
Game the F on, sir.
As long as it wasn't an adaptation of the film, it could be good. I mean, what is it? Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay was considered quite a phenomenal game based on the world of Riddick, but not based on a movie.
I may be in the minority, but I love the World of Warcraft movie just titled Warcraft.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. Could it be better? Sure, but I think it's objectively decent.
How'd you feel about what's his face? Ben Old, what's his face playing Sorcerer? What's his face?
Yeah,
in Warcraft. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
throwing down some lightning and all.
Yeah, it was all right. It was ish.
I'll say this:
the orcs were better.
I wouldn't mind anything based on John Wick that could be interesting. Actually, if I was thinking about popular movie franchises adapted to video game, especially playing something like Splinter Cell, which I'm a huge fan of, and they need to bring back. Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible is a freaking video game. Makes a lot of sense to me. Works in a lot of ways. And if someone were to adapt that, I totally could buy into it, and it makes sense. Like, oh, hey, here I am, climbing this skyscraper for espionage, and I'm going to jump to another skyscraper and break into it. Like, that is Splinter Cell. That's what people loved about that game. So, if they wanted to do something like that, I could be into it. As far as other franchises, I don't know. Be interesting to see Armageddon as far as a game, like where you go and you land on a rock.
Really? You brought out Bruce Willis?
Look, I just like the idea of there's a video game where I look over and Steve Buscemi's on a nuclear warhead riding it like it's a pony. That'd be my take on that. Next up, Chapman writes in, and he says, "What's up, Richards?" Couldn't help myself.
What's up, buddy?
What up? John, you got anything to say?
Hey.
Okay. I hope you are all having a great week and all is well across the Atlantic. It's good to have some football back. Am I right? Directed to Chris and Shaun only. F you, John, apparently. I stayed up super late watching bad preseason NFL on Friday. Excited for both college and NFL season to get going. I have to say, Chapman, I am cautiously getting optimistic about my Redskins. A lot there that makes me go, maybe we won't be so bad. But we'll see. To update, this summer has been a slow gaming for me. My special lady friend bought me Kirby Star Allies early in the summer as a joke, but I actually enjoyed it.
Joke's on her.
I finally had time to finish it last week and trade it in for Mario Tennis Aces, which so far is fun to play. I was so tempted to get Octo Traveler because the great review guys did, but went with the safe choice instead. Might check it out in the future. I don't know about you guys, but my PS4 is so ready for Spider-Man. I can't wait. I agree with you on that one. I'm writing because my birthday is in June.
Happy birthday!
I'm also in June, baby. I bought myself I bought myself Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia to complete my Dark Horse set. Highly recommended for any true fan of the series.
I had it in my hand the other day, sir.
Ooh. In the book, it maps out the entire timeline / history of the Legend of Zelda games, how they fit together, with the exception of Breath of the Wild. It's fun and interesting read, but in doing so, I was reminded I never played any of the 3DS Zelda games. Ooh, shame.
Oh, there's some good ones, sir.
Yeah, shame on you, sir. My question to you there is, in 2018, is it worth spending my precious pound coins to purchase 3DS in A Link Between Worlds, Majora's Mask 3D, Triforce Heroes, and Ocarina of Time 3D
Maybe.
to finally play these games? Part of me feels like the time has passed, but part of me also has all of these items sitting in my, quote, save for later Amazon basket. So I wanted to get the expert's opinion. Similarly, maybe I wait to see if in a year or so Nintendo converts these to Switch, or am I dreaming?
Dreaming, for sure.
Thoughts, feelings, emotions. In other news. Next month, I'm coming home to visit my family in Atlanta. Ooh. I feel like we should meet up for this.
I think we have to, right?
And see some Falcons / United games. That's like a really weird combo. Right?
Atlanta United.
Falcon, yeah.
No, it's not.
F
First
United.
of all, they both play in the same stadium.
F United. Matt Orr is like, oh, United for life. Gary too. If you guys happen to meet up in ATL, ooh, that's how he gets his like local street cred, right?
Yeah.
He
If you happen to be up in the ATL or greater metro area.
right? I would love to meet and buy you guys a round or two to say thanks for the great podcast and talk some gaming.
He says when he's in town.
I'm in town September 15th through the 24th. You have my email, so feel free to write. Free
You drunk
to write and let me know. Thanks for all the good work, gentlemen. As always, game on. Cheers.
Game on,
Chapman.
good sir. And
That
if
was
these
a solid email.
yeah, it's a great email. I don't think that at any point A Link Between Worlds is too late to go back to play.
You should.
That game is a masterpiece.
Yeah. I mean, like the fact that like that we're talking that 3D. When you said like 3DS tiles, I was thinking like, God, like Oracle Seasons and like things like that. When he says A Link Between Worlds and he hasn't played that, I'm like, or Majora's Mask, which is not even really a 3DS title, but a, Nintendo 64 title. I'm like, no. You should go back and you should play those. Especially, I would say the big two would be A Link Between Worlds and Majora's Mask. And also Ocarina of Time if you didn't play it back on the N64. Right, John?
Oh yeah, definitely. But I think he indicated he's played these before, so at least Majora's Mask and Ocarina. I mean, I'd skip them. I wouldn't go buy a system to play these games if you've already played the games.
Sure. Ever writes in, says, hi, guys.
Hey, Ever. How you doing?
Hey.
We now know that friend of the show, Jeff's nickname is Big Hand Sanders, as it should be. My question for y'all this week, quote, what is y'all's nickname? Y'all can't pick Big D Richard because that's Sean's nickname. P.S. While 16-bit games aren't really my cup of tea when it comes to video games, y'all's discussion of Dead Cells intrigued me enough to keep an eye on it. Once it goes on sale via the PSN store, I'll be sure to snag it. Thanks for the excellent show and game on, guys.
Just be careful what reviews you read.
Ooh, don't read Beyond. Read ours. Also, don't read Philip Mewson's. I actually read Brandon Tyrell's. I actually liked his review. I thought it was spot on for that game.
I thought Phillips was spot on, but
we ain't gonna talk about that. My nickname, honestly, Ever, I have like
He's
5.
had 10 billion
I've
nicknames.
had so many nicknames. Little Bunny, LB.
LB, Little Bunny.
Prince Louis. I mean, like
Junior.
things you just, Junior. Things you can't even comprehend.
Christopher Robin.
Yeah. That's another one. Like, I have too many.
What do they call you, John? Pookie or some crap?
I don't know anything.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
You do have a
what does
Pookie.
your wife call you?
Pookie.
Yeah.
Sometimes Spooky Pookie.
Oh.
I always put
Spooky
you and
Pookie.
Mikey together because you're my two Pookies.
Oh. There it is. It's out in the universe now, guys.
Yeah, here comes the letters.
Next up, Matt.
Thank you, by the way, Ever.
Thank you. Matt writes in and says, gentlemen, I think I finally figured out, aside from the cubicle and Jesus clues, the clue that put me over the top was your mention that you ate at Barbaritos. You guys must be in or around Columbus.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
do you not notice what this means?
Yeah, I know.
Off mic. Do you see this?
You do
I
it.
see
You
it,
do
but-
it. He stops.
No, because I said it. I was like, Chris.
Oh, okay. Through a little web research, I discovered it is headquartered in. See, you had little faith.
I
figured
did.
it
I still have little faith.
I don't expect you to confirm your place of employment on air, but you could give a thumbs up or wink wink. If I am correct, that would be super. I will simply say, Matt, winkety wink,
No.
wink, 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 wink.
Here's the thing.
wink.
He says he's been in a field of expertise where things like that he was bound to figure out.
Look, to be fair, he figured it out. I give him credit. I'm not going to ever say if he's right on air, but I'll just say winkety wink, 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 wink.
Yeah, we can give him a winky to
And
wink.
he gives some very direct things that very much my friends wanted me to wave off.
He goes on to talk about fantasy football, Chris.
He also says he was a police detective for 9 years in Florida, having solved
Just
this.
say fantasy football.
Yeah, he says having this unsolved case on my hands was driving me bananas. Look, Matt, I won't say you're right, but I'll just say winkety wink, 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 wink. Fantasy football season is upon us, so I will stop peppering you guys with emails. Most of my drive time is listening to this podcast and radio, and will be devoted to preparing for drafts and keeping up with NFL fantasy news. That's a good thing to keep up with. I will be sure to free up a couple hours a week to make sure to listen to my 3 favorite peddlers of something. Peace and love, Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
Matt, he really hit it.
Peace and love, sir.
In a
Next
way.
email, Chris. Next email. Little dead air time.
Cal says, hello, Chris, Shaun, and John.
He did it on purpose.
He
Chris.
really, he almost hit one of them, though.
Shawan.
No, the John.
No, you.
Just put an
Yeah.
extra in.
My name is Cal. I'm going to say it like Cal.
Cal?
And I just wanted to send this email to say thank you.
Okay, about what, sir?
Last Wednesday, I was taking a test to get a major license in the financial field. I listened to you guys on the way to the test and then passed. See, success. That's why we're better than Beyond, John. About 10 minutes after passing the test, I got a phone call from my mom telling me the unfortunate news that my dad had cancer, or my dad's cancer had come back. That's sad. Sorry about that. Not too many details, but it was a huge mix of emotions, and I listened to your podcast to help ease my mind a little bit after getting the news. And I never ran into the podcast before, but I feel like you should know I really appreciate your podcast for being real and not pushing any agendas and keeping it clean. As I'm a father and don't want to listen to a bunch of cursing and vulgar content like most gaming podcasts.
I thought he was going to say drunk hosts. I was like, oh no.
Let me tell you something, Cal. The podcast is hands down my favorite gaming podcast. And I just wanted to thank you for being awesome and helping me get through a tough day. P.S. It was the Dead Cells episode and slapped Shaun. Still probably spelled wrong for saying he doesn't want to play it. It's awesome. 9! See, Shaun, I've slapped you.
He totally slapped me.
I did.
Hey,
I
man,
did what you-
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That means a lot that we bring joy to you. And
Yeah.
that's really what we want to do, man. We want
Really-
to bring some jokes. We want to give you some gaming content. And man, thank you so much for writing in. Do it more often, sir.
Really sorry you went through some hard days there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure, man.
We're
with you,
send
bro.
our love. Hope you for the best.
Yeah.
Wish your dad the best. Hope everything works out. Finally, we got Daniel.
Is this
who
a
wrote-
finally?
Yeah, it's a finally.
Are you sure?
Yeah, the other one's like not an actual email, but it's like Amazon going like, let me tell you about this.
I got you.
So, finally we got Daniel who writes in and says, hey guys, it's Daniel. John, you got
Hey,
something to say?
Daniel.
Daniel, hey.
Yeah, thanks guys. I'm back from
Thanks
camp.
for calling us out.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
I find a way. It's been a while. I can't wait to catch up on the episodes I miss and hope to keep writing you on a weekly basis again. So stay tuned for that. And I'll get serious and delve into animating the shorts soon. I watched the Doom Eternal reveal at QuakeCon and camp, and me and my buddies were so excited. I DM'd you guys on Twitter and showed some of my drawings I did at camp. I finished South Park: The Fractured Butthole last week. That's a great game. And I laughed so hard throughout the credits. I can't wait to get PS4 on Black Friday and play Horizon Zero Dawn, which I tried at my friend's house and loved, staying up all night playing it. I also can't wait for Mega Man 11 and other Switch games to come out. So that's all I got right now. So talk to you guys later. Peace. Daniel for New York.
Thanks, Daniel.
We miss you, Daniel.
We did miss you, and I'll tell you this, I can't wait for you to get a PS4 on Black Friday either. And maybe you and I will start playing Horizon Zero Dawn together. Because mine's still unopened as well. My most anticipated game of said year.
They say it's like you literally have dipped this game in gold. Right?
Right.
That's what they say.
They say it's the greatest thing ever.
I think it's the greatest thing ever. Sean.
Yeah.
What do they say on Twitter about this?
Well, hold up. My wife is,
your wife?
She's gonna be right here. She didn't believe we were still, she hardly believed me, but
she's
I'm showing her on
is
video.
This really going on right now?
This is still really going on.
Is this how we keep your marriage alive? Is that we affirm to her that this is happening?
Help me. Help me.
So let me, pull up the old Twitters.
Okay.
So, last week when we put our things out on Twitter about the episode, what it's going to be, at Acid Sugar 1414, he let Motion Twin know, that we gave them a really good review, a rave review, as he said, for Dead Cells. So thank you for that, Acid Sugar. Woohoo. We appreciate you putting our name out there as we talk about people for stuff that we appreciate. I did give Dead Cells a lot of, grief.
You really should.
I probably should. I should give it a try, maybe. But
Jeff,
F that game. I'm kidding.
Jeff made it to the boss here.
Yeah, he was playing a lot,
and he was very high on that.
So the next one's for John. It's from David _McClendon, at Weekly Games Chat. John, you listen to True Crime Podcast? Question. What's your favorites? I recommend, Up and Vanished, Atlanta Monster, and In the Dark is Amazeballs, both seasons. Almost as good as Weekly Games Chat. Chris Shakagan, what's in your podcast playlist? So, John, you answer first if you want to, buddy.
I have also listened to Up and Vanished, the first season. Fun fact, that's about the Tara Grinstead case. She was a former beauty queen. She disappeared. She was the GBI's largest unsolved case file. She disappeared in Ocilla, Georgia. I was born in Ocilla, Georgia.
Oh.
Anyway, other than that, I found Payne Lindsay. He's a little pretentious, if you ask me.
That's a good word.
He's, one of the unique things about Up and Vanished is the case got solved during the recording of the podcast.
Oh, that makes that really fun to listen to.
And Payne Lindsay took all the credit you can imagine from that. And maybe he deserves a lot. I mean, he did get the community talking about it again. He got interest peaked about it, and the case broke while he was filming it. I don't know realistically how much he can take, but he's milking it for all it's worth. And another season's coming up. He's just a bit arrogant.
Yeah.
But overall the podcast is really good. It sparked a connection with me because I'm from that area originally. Another podcast I listen to is Sword and Scale. Did
he say that?
No. Okay. It's an episodic podcast. In other words, every week is a different case. It's not an unsolved case. It just tells you, its tagline is, Sword and Scale, where we show you that, the worst monsters are real. And so he covers all kinds of horrific cases of things that people have done that are, awful things, but they're very interesting because it's true crime, and I'm into that. But Sword and Scale is a great podcast, but yeah.
Oh, you're not going to mention Serial?
Serial.
At a point in time, that podcast was solid.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Serial
is
one of the biggest hits ever podcasting.
Yeah. So as far, that was really the only one I got into as far as that. I do listen, It's a sad thing for me to, only because of how far this thing has gone. Opie of Opie and Anthony, he has a podcast now. It's called Opie Radio. I love it. But Opie and Anthony don't get along anymore.
Yeah.
Opie's hated by almost everybody apparently. And it's just sad being a fan of that particular show. Like that? I spent so many hours and years of my life listening to that radio show.
That's fair.
At Big Griff writes in.
Okay.
Chris. I mean,
cool.
What do you got, Chris? Good. At Big Griff writes in.
That's funny. I've said what my gaming podcasts are that I listen to week to week. Last week, someone asked us about that. But other things I listen to, I do listen to things like Serial. I guess anything from American Life that's like true crime I usually listen to.
Yeah.
But on side of, right. On side of that, things I listen to weekly probably wouldn't interest you unless you're an analytical person. I listen to a lot of 538's podcast, which is it's about statistical probabilities and numbers with politics and polling. The other big one I listen to on a weekly basis is the Political Gabfest, which is like take 3 random topics going on in politics and they talk about them. So if you don't like those things, you probably won't like the podcast, but they're out there. I think they're interesting. Up to you if you listen.
At Big Griff writes in.
Apparently Shaun doesn't listen.
At Weekly Games Chat. I don't know if another 2D game is too much, but you all would like Death's Gambit.
I've heard this.
Is it 2D Dark Souls? Unashamedly so. Is it awesome? Yes. So you said you've heard of this, huh?
I have heard of this. I haven't paid too much attention to it, but I have heard of Death's Gambit. Can't say. I think it's got a mixed reception when I check the ratings, so I can only play so much is the way I can say it.
This next one rules. At Crypto Weston was replying to at Moon Crypto, and the tweet said, if you're into gaming, the guys over at Weekly Games Chat have a great one. Rooster Teeth podcast is classic. Crypto the Wonder Dog is my favorite crypto related one though. So we got mentioned in him replying to someone else. And I know all of us here really thank you guys for really pointing that out and sending people our way. Cause without you guys, we're just talking to dead air and one day we would never be here again because we'd realize that. Going to follows real quick. We're going to give a follow back to at Eli_Milne. Thank you so much for the following you back. And we got a follow from at Goods_Health. Thank you so much for the following you back. Again, if you ever want to be a part of the follows and mentions and conversation we have over on the Twitter, Chris, where do they find that at?
You can find us on both Facebook and Twitter at Weekly Games Chat. You can also write your thoughts in, as I said before, to weeklygamechat@gmail.com. If you like the show, subscribe to us on whatever podcast service you want. I've realized in this past week that apparently a lot of people that didn't know don't use iTunes podcasts. They use our other services. And I love those services just as much as I love iTunes.
We just say it because people know it, you know?
Yeah.
But you do say wherever you get it.
Yeah, wherever you get it, I don't care. What I care about is that you subscribe to us, if you like us. And I can guarantee you this, if you... Whoa. Yeah, it's fine. It's last week's. Okay. If you like us, you can get a new episode. If you subscribe to us every Wednesday, might not always be out at midnight, but for the most part, we do put it out at midnight. And it's 11:07.
It's 11:07. I don't think you've ever got a more fresher version of this show.
Yeah.
In recent episodes.
We're trying. But if you subscribe to us, you'll get a new episode every week. If you like us,
You've already sold this.
I haven't said this part. If you like us, rate us, and 5 stars or whatever, 10 stars, whatever the top thing
Spread
is.
the love.
If you like us, give it the top love. If you don't like us, obviously you take whatever the top score is and you
take double it and stuff.
Yeah, you subtract 1. That's fair, right, John? John is nodding that this is fair.
That's our bedtime,
to
Chris.
say terribleness is equal to 9 out of 10.
See, it stinks, right, John? Your fingertips.
Yeah. This has been episode 167 of Weekly Games Chat.
Of what?
Weekly Games Chat.
That's not what you said, but it's probably fine.
He gives a 2-syllable word of 5 syllables.
A wooga looga jack.
But
boogity boogity.
but I give it all the love it deserves.
Yeah, you do.
That's the important thing.
No.
Until next time,
Yep.
I will say, game on, Sean.
Game on, Christopher Robin.
That's fine. Game on, John.
A game on, Chris and Sean.
Game on, Pookie Bear.
Your mom's spot.
Back on the
Peace out, everybody.
Thug Life.
Okay.